But I think the development of full artificial intelligence would spell the end of the human race.
It's a flying object, and we don't know what it is. I would hope somebody is checking it out.
It was a rocket or whatever, but incredibly fast, opposite direction. It was too fast to be an airplane.
I'm glad the Pentagon is looking at this, because if it poses a threat, I want them on top of it.
Well, the craft generates its own gravitational field.
So you said there's lights in the sky?
The internet has become the command center for criminals and terrorists.
911, what's your emergency? I need help, please help me!
Aliens won't let it happen. You know, that's what we're instructed to say.
Roswell, Area 51. Alien kept deep under the ground.
1, 0,
self-serving. You're here for a reason. You're listening to Troubled Minds Radio.
Broadcasting live from a secret bunker just off the extraterrestrial highway. Somewhere in the desert sands outside of Las Vegas. From somewhere in space-time, loosely labeled Generation X on planet Earth. And asking questions of you in earnest into the digital darkness.
Good evening and welcome to Troubled Minds Radio. I'm your host, Michael Strange, and hello to all of you who may also have troubled minds. What's going on, guys? It is Tuesday night, and that's one of the nights we get together and talk about all the things we're not allowed to talk about. You know what those things are. Aliens, conspiracy, the paranormal, the government, academia, the 24-hour news cycle, propaganda, and the general feeling that we live in the upside down. What's happening? I had some pretty hot shows the last couple times. What's up? Shout out to Axel Steele if you're out there. Shout out to Night Stalker for jumping in Thursday and Monday and making these shows banging and off the rails and all the rest of the stuff that we like them to be. And I appreciate that very much. And as a result, and I bring them up because very, very good stuff from them as always. But I met them on this show. I met them doing this show. And as you know, the whole secret of Troubled Minds is not me. It has very little to do with me, other than I press the buttons and start a conversation. The secret of Troubled Minds is you. And that's why we get together and do this in the format that we do, in the sense of us being, live, us being imperfect, us being where literally just thoughts come out and as words. And that's the idea of this entire thing, is we want to get together and talk to regular people, okay? I'm a regular person, you're a regular person, and that's how conversations happen. And there are a lot of crazy things happening in the world. So as always, like I said, I have no inside sources. I'm just become good at looking at news cycles. That's it. It's not a skill. It's just it's something if you do every day, a little bit of practice, and you can pick out the propaganda pretty easily. And so we ain't doing the space jellyfish tonight. No space jellyfish. I see you guys in the chat. Speaking of the chat, so that's what we're doing tonight. We do this live again, imperfections, ums and alls, and and all, because we can include you. And that's, again, back to the secret weapon of troubled minds. So as a result of that, all the fantastic folks who've been part of this show, you're also invited to be on the show. If you have an idea to co-host or anything like that, like I've always said, Linda Moulton Howe or Richard Dolan, you don't need to be those people to be on this show. You just need to be you, and that's it. And your advantage is you have me. So if you think, well, I wouldn't be good, talking in huge doses on the radio and things like this. Nah, come on, get in here, and you got me. I'll back you up. If you want to take a moment to collect your thoughts, you've got this guy, and this guy can talk, and I'll give you a moment to buy your thoughts back, right the ship, and can continue trucking. And that's you got me. So it's all good. So with that said, we are streaming on several platforms here, and of course being live on the radio. We'll have a phone number. We're streaming on Rockfin, YouTube, D Live, and Twitter, and we're broadcasting live on the Fringe FM, which is digital radio. So the idea is that if you want to be part of the show tonight at any point, give me a call, 702-957-1037. That's 702-957-1037. Got the phone lines up. Everything looks fine. We're all fine here now. How are you? Let's see. Unmute that tab. Okay. All right. Phone lines officially up. Okay. So the thing is, let's see. What did we miss? We got that. So the phone number. Yes. The most important part, the phone number. If you want to give us a call, 702-957-1037, right there on the screen. You can also find the phone number at the official website, troubledminds.org. That's has everything. It's got the social media. It's got the podcast. It's got all the things you need to find. If you want to come say hi, it's got a Discord link, which of course we're using Discord to do the show, and as a way to allow international folks, because people listen to this show all over the world, to call in. And Discord, again, is a chat client. It's a voice client. It's completely free as long as you have an internet connection, and it's a way they're doing a good job of bringing people together, and that's what this show's about as well. So again, remember that this is not about an arbitration of truth. Okay, that's not what this is about. This is not propaganda in the sense that we have to take everybody else's talking points, Don Lemon or Sean Hannity or any of the rest of these guys, as any sort of truth at all. I mean, clearly they're biased people, very, very, very deeply. And not only that, they're paid to be biased people, because of course they want you divided. They want you to hate me and me to hate you and all the rest of that. Well, we don't have to do that. Like I think that the way to have a good conversation is to talk to everybody that wants to be respectful and wants to agree or disagree and still be friends tomorrow. I know it sounds so revolutionary in these trying times, but that's how I see it. And sure, people get chippy, people get irritated, people get frustrated, but it doesn't matter. We're still all people. Like, we can get over those things and move on and have a good conversation and be friends tomorrow. So a couple things. Please join us on the Fringe Discord. Watch in the chat over there, as well as the rest of all of the rest of the places. See what I did there? My brain got in front of my mouth that time. And fringe.fm/chat. And also, the easiest way to listen to Troubled Minds is to download the Fringe app on the iTunes App Store, the Android App Store, completely free. And you just smash the play button when it's time to listen to Troubled Minds, and that would be 7 o'clock Pacific time, Monday through Thursday. All right. Is everybody good? Everybody settled in? Everybody ready for this? Okay. So again, you know me, looking through some news cycles to try and start a conversation, and this actually happened this week. Okay, this is really going on. It's one of those situations where my eyes kind of popped out of my head a little bit. But yeah, they announced this week. We'll get to the article in just a sec. But they announced that Neuralink is about to undergo actual human trials. Okay. And so what exactly does that mean? It means they're going to put electrodes into your brain as part of this human trials process, and they're going to test what it feels like and talk to actual human beings, right? They've done this with monkeys. We've seen them playing Pong, monkeys playing Pong with their brain, video games with their brain. If you don't know what Pong is, P-O-N-G. If you do and you've seen that, well, they did the Three Little Pigs test, which was kind of cute, a little bit of Dorbs, nice touch, Elon Musk. But if you recall, last year sometime, they had the Three Little Pigs, meaning they had the 3-pig test, which one pig didn't have any Neuralink ever. One pig currently had a Neuralink installed. One pig had a Neuralink installed and it had been removed. All right. So those are the three things that they did to kind of do the three little pig test. And what they were trying to tell you about it is that in all three of those different pigs, the behavior was all the same. Their behavior had not changed. They were still happy, healthy pigs, and they were, following the pig commands they were taught and food motivated and the whole thing. Point being is that the Neuralink, they were trying to say, had no negative effects on the well-being of these pigs. Okay, which is fine, right? I guess that's fine. Is that fine? So that's what's up, right? This is where we start tonight, because again, Neuralink is one of those things, all right? It's like Elon Musk has said, and this is a fantastic idea, right? In that, we all text message or we type keyboards, things like this, but it's slow. Even like the fastest typists in the world, the world record holder for the fastest text messages and whatnot, it's still slow by comparison of thought, right? Like, again, imagine if I was trying to type all the things that I'm saying. And in many cases on this show and the things that come through my mind, through my mouth, it's almost instantaneous, right? Like when you get practiced at it, sure, you fumble and you misspeak and say dumb things and this or that or the other, but you get how fast it is. I'm thinking it's coming out of my mouth. I'm thinking it's coming out of my mouth, right? However, if I had to type this all these words that I said tonight, if I was typing this, how long would it take? Probably, I don't know, double, right? Double the time, maybe more than that. Sure, it would be more concise because I could make corrections on the fly, delete this, change that, which of course would add more time. But still, you get the idea that communicating through verbal speech is much, much faster than typing. Obviously, okay? I'm stating the obvious here. However, what Elon Musk has really brought about is saying that we should be able to send these messages instead of even voice to speech, some of this dictation stuff that's happening with the technology now. Well, the next step is, instead of that, it's going to be brain to text or whatever, right? You think it writes it. Straight from your Neuralink hookup, okay? Among other things, they're talking about solving, paralyzation in people by actually tapping into, the nerves in the back. Let's say you had a horrific accident and you've been paralyzed from the neck down or something. They're saying that by tapping into the brain, they're going to be able to maybe re-stimulate some of these areas of the body that have been paralyzed. And there you go. What's up, Mr. Mensa? Says it's what we have to do in the chat room. Type. Exactly, right? Exactly. And it's slow. It's just, and not only that, right? It's it just is the way it is. It's inefficient. Okay, so at least in that, Elon's right. Well, what about the rest of the stuff Elon says? I'm not so sure about curing paralysis and some things like this. We'll see. Again, I hate to be the naysayer. I think that we can do a bunch of really good things with this, but it's going to have to be a volunteer, right? It's going to have to be sort of volunteer basis, or else what? Or else, well. So a few questions tonight. So now, since they've announced, we'll get to the article in a sec, but since they've announced the Neuralink human trials, what do you think the future is going to look like with these brain chips implanted? And how crazy are things going to change, right? So think about this. Now, this is nuts that since they introduced Neuralink and put it out there for, just people to kind of consider, they had the three little pig test, they had the monkey playing Pong, stuff like this, right? They've been testing these things in animals, but they haven't actually tested them in humans. But since they had that three little pigs test, you know what's happened? The metaverse has happened. So you start to see, right? You start to see. So imagine, and this is again sort of linking these two ideas together with the Neuralink. Okay, so first we have the Oculus Headset that you put over your eyes, completely covers every bit of visual sensation you have at all, and it replaces it with a sort of a hologram 3D world that you can turn your head and look around, look up, look down, and you're able to see all the things that the metaverse has to offer you, right? And in many cases, change the way you look. So if you go look in a mirror in the metaverse, just think about that for a second. How wild is that? You look in a mirror in the metaverse, and you're able to see yourself back as the avatar that you've really taken over in the metaverse. And so I don't look like me with this face. You don't look like you with that face. You look like, I don't know, baby Cthulhu or whatever you chose, right? Maybe a pencil with an eraser head. Who knows, right? Like, who knows what you actually look like? But that's the thing, okay? Now, here's the wild part, and just kind of putting this together as we go tonight. But the wild part, it gets even crazier. So if you have this Neuralink in your brain and it's compatible with this Oculus sort of headset and the metaverse, this is what we were talking about and why this is dangerous, okay? Because once you do a thing like this, that means you can send impulses to the body through this chip in your brain, all right? So if, let's say, you touch a hot stove in the metaverse, this Neuralink, again, if they're synced and, it becoming the ultimate video game experience, could actually send a message into your brain and give you the sensation of your fingers actually feeling a hot stove, okay? And just for example, that's just throwing an idea out there, but you see how this type of thing, when it all comes together, we're literally talking about the Matrix, aren't we? We're literally talking about the Matrix. So the question tonight is this, as we begin. Now, we'll get to the article in a sec, like I said, but is this, all right, part of the conversation, it starts exactly like this, always with some questions, because this is the question show, this is not the answer show. But these are the questions I have. Number one, would you volunteer for an actual human clinical Neuralink trial? Would you be first in line for this? Are you super stoked about this technology? And if so, why? And if not, why not? That's the first question, okay? Think about that. Would you want to be one of the first individuals to actually pop in here and do the Neuralink thing? All right? Second, how wild do you think this Neuralink can get? All right? Now, again, I sort of equated it with maybe a metaverse sort of situation, okay? But what about dream states? What about downloading your dreams? What about what court cases look like in the future? All right, with I don't know, maybe putting the Neuralink in your head. They say it's a non-invasive procedure. So what if in the future you go into a courtroom and you actually have to instead of put your hand on the Bible and swear an oath to the Almighty God, instead they just slap a Neuralink on you and put you up on the stand. And so not only that, you can think in terms of, telling the truth, the whole truth and nothing but the truth, but you'll also have a court reporter dictating the courtroom situation, probably with a Neuralink, him or herself. and also they're able to probably monitor your thoughts or anxieties or anything in real time. And if that sounds like a Black Mirror episode, well, it was. It totally was. And so that's what I'm talking about tonight. That's what's on my mind. So let's get to this article. Once again, if you want to be part of the show tonight, those are the questions, right? So would you be the first in line for the Neuralink human trials? And why or why not? And then also, how crazy do you think this is going to get? Let's make some predictions in, let's say, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years type of thing. How crazy do you think this Neuralink situation is going to get? We've seen some of this two-tier society stuff happen recently. Not going to get into it because it'll get us taken off the internet for medical misinformation, if you know what I'm saying. But it's happening, right? It is happening. It seemed ridiculous 2 years ago to suggest that you would have to show papers or some sort of a credential to sit down and eat at a restaurant. It's happening, all right? And so this is the way the world's going. If we can justify insane things over who knows, whatever it happens to be, then do you think at some point they'll be able to require this in sort of maybe courtroom situations? Maybe they do this at school so they can monitor how like engaged you are with the classroom, or who knows, right? Like, this is the type of stuff that you start to think, no, come on, that's ridiculous, Mike. That's insane. Are you serious? Where they would require this type of thing in a particular setting or instance? if you've been paying attention to the last 2 years, then, well, maybe I'm not quite that insane. But okay, here we go. So let's get to this article. Again, 702-957-1037. What's up, guys? I see you, Vicky and, Adonna and Ronald over on Rockfin. I see you guys. It's kind of quiet over there. What's up, Vicky, Jeff? Welcome. Say hi in a second in the commercial here. Okay, so here's what we're doing. That's what's on my mind tonight. How crazy does this get? Will you be first in line to check out these human trials? And here we go. This is from The Verge. TheVerge.com. Such good stuff. Elon Musk's Neuralink is hiring a clinical trial director, which of course means exactly what I've been saying. This is about to get real. It says, deal with Elon Musk's hyperbole is not in the job description. Oh, so cheeky. These Verge guys are just so cheeky. Here we go, right from the article. Elon Musk's brain-machine interface company Neuralink has a new job posting for a clinical trial director, a position that could help the company move towards its stated goal of testing its brain implant in actual people. Since launching publicly in 2017, Neuralink has demoed its brain implant in pigs and monkeys, but has yet to announce a start to the long-promised trials in humans. The company's implant is a coin-like device with electrodes studded on thin, flexible wires. The wires are its main innovation over older brain-machine interfaces, which use stiffer needles that can damage cells in the brain, which also, by the way, There's some evidence to suggest, if you dig into this idea that the wires are not invasive in the rest of this, which, stiffer needles and the whole thing. There's some doctors that say Elon is playing with fire here, and that there's still not enough information to suggest that these thin, flexible wires are any more safe than the stiffer needles from the old days. So just there's some people that disagree with Elon, as you would expect. In any case, this continues. The company needs to do trials in humans before it can get Food and Drug Administration approval for general medical use, which is, of course, key for Elon Musk's stated plan to use the devices to solve a number of neurological problems, from memory loss to addiction. The clinical trial job posting, first reported by Bloomberg, says that the person in the role will be working with Neuralink's first clinical trial participants, though it's not clear if the company has started recruiting or working with participants at this point. Musk said in December that the company aims to have the device implanted in the first human subjects in 2022. That's not the first prediction he's made, though. Musk previously said he hoped to start trials in 2020. This is pretty wild. It goes here. The clinical trial process would start with a feasibility study to get a first look at how the device works in a small number of people. And once again, do you want to be one of those small number of people? I wonder if there's an application. Let's see. Then, because the device is high risk and hasn't been previously used in people, the company would need FDA approval to launch a larger scale trial. According to the job posting, the clinical trial director would be responsible for interactions with regulators like the FDA. And there it is. And that's how we begin tonight. And like many other nights, we are already off the rails with not just would you be first in line for the Elon Musk clinical trial with Neuralink and the chip, or on top of that, how crazy do you think this is going to get? And that's what we're talking about tonight. So there's a lot to this, of course, which is always why we do Troubled Minds, because it's not as simple. The world isn't as simple as it seems, even though you would have propagandists tell us it is. They would tell us that things are very simply, if you just vote the way they want you to, then the world would be a better place. But you have both sides telling you the exact same thing. So, who's fibbing? Who's fibbing? Point being that, I don't know. Where are we at, including all the rest of this? It depends on you, right? Like I always, reality and truth is a very slippery fish. And that's why we always talk about this in the context of what do you think? Because as you know, I'm just a jerk on the internet with a microphone. So in the end, it doesn't matter what I think. It matters what you think. And so that's what we're talking about tonight. So if you want to be part of the discussion, you know what to do. Give us a call, 702-957-1037. That's 702-957-1037. We're talking about Elon Musk and his Neuralink project. They're saying they're hiring a clinical trial director, meaning Human clinical trials for a brain chip are just around the corner. Would you be first in line? And how deep does this rabbit hole go? One more time, 702-957-1037. This is Troubled Minds. I'm Michael Strange. Don't go anywhere. More Neuralink, Elon Musk, and you when we return. Be right back. Welcome back to Troubled Minds. I'm your host, Michael Strange, and we are streaming on Rockfin, YouTube, DLive, and Twitter. And we are broadcasting live on the Fringe FM. And tonight, we're talking about Elon Musk, his Neuralink, and human clinical trials. Would you be the first in line? And how deep does this rabbit hole go? If you want to be part of the show tonight, love to hear your thoughts at 702-957-1037. That's 702-957-1037, and we'll put you on the show. It's as easy peasy as that, and as easy peasy as this. Let's go to Joseph in Iowa. Welcome to Troubled Minds, my friend. Go right ahead. What's on your mind tonight?
Hey, I wanted to add in on my dream experience. It kind of connects to this, so it really does connect to this.
Sure.
Because I think how weird it's going to get is, like, I talked about yesterday how, like, you can, like, make, like, a dream, and, like, specifically one time I stuck a nicotine patch on me at night, and I'm not saying that I advise this at all, but it makes you dream crazy, and, like, I think the Neurolinks will make us connect to each other's dreams, so we'll be able to host mind events.
Nice.
So that's the real metaverse, is what we've been building in our own head.
Nice. I love it. I love it. So now this gets wild, right? Let's take it down that thought process. Okay. So the metaverse is hosted on servers. If we connect ourselves to each other via Neuralink, our metaverse, our dream metaverse, is hosted in our brains. Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa. Yeah, that's pretty wild, man. That's crazy stuff. So what about this technology? Are you excited about this, or are you a little bit worried about where this is heading?
I wonder if we're thinking about it, if they've already able to, like, incept into our minds, and maybe it's the way we dream already, but then that wouldn't make sense because we have writings and stuff. But, like, I think it's going to get, like, weird, like Total Recall weird. Like, you'll be able to have experiences that aren't even yours. And I think it will be a good thing. Like the question you asked, it'll be a good thing because it can build, like, kind of like if you read a book, you're getting a download, you know, it can be a good thing. Right.
So back to the whole, actual, like, you know, efficiency issue is, you know, like texting and typing and things like this. It's just grotesquely slow for how fast the human mind works. But so there are going to be some efficiency things, but I think part of my trepidation with this is that the internet itself has kind of been sort of that one of those revolutionary tools that allowed us to do things like this, right? Where we're literally on digital radio, we're streaming on YouTube, we're streaming on Rockfin, DLive, Twitter, we're streaming on all kinds of things. So the internet and technology has become a very, very good thing, and it could have been something that one of those tools in humanity, in the nature of humanity, that brought us together. But unfortunately, right, some of these tech conglomerates, the technocrats, like I say, you know who they are, instead they're using it to tear us apart, right, for partisan purposes, for profit, for all the rest of this stuff. And this is where I get a little bit Let's say hesitant with this type of technology, right? Because of course, I agree with you in that if we use technology earnestly to do good things all the time, then there's no reason to be afraid. Except that's not the way our world works, is it?
No. I mean, I think a good way to look at it is, I mean, a dream happens quick. So if you could multiplayer with people in your dreams, then, I mean, you could get a lot done in a meeting really quick. Just, like take some hypnosis or hit play, enter, and wake up 5 seconds later and you got tons of stuff done,
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
I think it would be.
Well, also think of it in terms of this, right? Like a lot of people have like a very methodical mind, and can also just have like 5 bullet points and just bam, 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 and talk about them. But some people, can you imagine like having like 5 chaotic minds hooked up together trying to have a meeting? like talk about like shouting
That's
over
true.
each other. It could be wild, and this is what I'm saying, right? Again, this show is not gloom and doom, and I'm not saying the end of the world is coming because of the chip in the brain and the rest of this. I'm saying, what do you guys think about the implications and how these things may work? I like where your mind's at here, talking about multiplayer with our dreams. Pretty wild stuff. What else do you think? So let's say, when do you think that'll happen? 5 years, 10 years? And if that's the case, what happens after that? Are we going to have the full-on Matrix experience or Inception experience, or both, in the Matrix, dreaming within a dream inside another Matrix? Oh, geez.
Yeah, I don't. It could already be happening.
Yeah, right. Maybe this is the 3rd layer down we're in right now, Joseph. For all we know, right?
But I forgot what I was going to say.
See, imagine Neuralink hooked into all our brains.
Oh, yeah,
and we're
I got it.
We're like, we know what Joseph was going to say. You were thinking this. No, go ahead.
I think it's the artists, and like a lot of people, maybe not even artists, maybe you'll find hidden imaginations in all kinds of people, like maybe you not enter their mind completely, might not be a thing, but maybe you can experience some part of them, and I think that could be powerful.
Yeah, so I think we've talked about this in the past with sort of that alien communication aspect, where they say that aliens communicate telepathically. So it would sure cut a lot of the BS out of misunderstanding and things like this, for sure, right? Because you could just say your thought, and your thought is basically pure. It's not going to misspeak. It's your thought. So those things, like, again, there's value there. There's a lot of value there. Just kind of cutting to the chase of, hey, look,
I don't know, because your thoughts, and especially once you know your thoughts, it's like being watched on camera.
Yes,
it's
worse,
like
even worse. Worse.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Your thoughts could go off the rails.
Just because you think it, right, it doesn't mean you're going to do it. It doesn't mean that it's a reflection of your character, right? We have that whole meat suit to filter to stop those terrible thoughts and our morals and our values and all the rest of those things, right? And that's what I mean. And I'm not saying you're thinking about murdering somebody. I'm saying that like in a, let's say, a mind-to-mind sort of conversation thing, you think of multiple things to say, right? And some of them aren't so nice, like for me, I'm not a nice guy sometimes. I'm just not. I'm cranky. I'm irritable. I'm tired. I've got a headache sometimes, and I can just be a sour ass person, right? But it doesn't have to be that way. You catalog those things you want to say, but if you're reading minds directly, you would see the catalog of all those things you wanted to say, and half of them aren't going to be nice. That's what I mean.
And plus, if you don't have that a part of you, then how would you deal with it in reality? You wouldn't be able to counter it. You got like people, private investigators, and like people that like cops and all that stuff. Like, how would you have the instinct if you didn't have it,
Yeah. And then
you'd be more powerful. And you look at like Dexter, like I actually got into watching that. It's about like a serial killer. It's on Netflix. It's pretty messed up. But
I've seen parts of it, yep.
Since he has that mindset, he links up with other people, literally other serial killers, because they're in the same, like, their mindsets link. It's kind of like in school, like if you hang out with bad people, you get in trouble, or if you do bad things, you link up with bad people.
Yeah, and again, right? It's like people that are interested in finance hang out and talk finance. People that are interested in stuff like this hang out and talk conspiracy and Neuralinks and aliens and stuff. And you just the birds of a feather, they say. But of course, it would stand to reason, given this sort of access to a connection to everybody, that the serial killers would unite. That's a good point.
I think they would try a great reset too.
Yeah, how so?
Like not like a great reset as we know it. Like they would just like trick everyone into being born with them.
Right. Yeah.
And then you'd be really in for the ride.
Exactly. So which we're going to get into as well. So again, some of the implications here that worry me is they said that coming up in short time here, once the Neuralinks are all approved and all the rest of these clinical trials and the rest of that at some point we'll be able to download our dreams, okay, onto like a hard drive and then just play them back and watch our dreams. And so the issue with that I have is the more tampering and the more sort of into the brain you get, sure, the more you understand about yourself, but also you have middlemen. You have people that are hooking you up to these machines. You have Neuralink that's going to be hooked up to 5G, like somebody said in the chat. You have all these things, maybe this metaverse situation. There's a whole lot of middle people between here and there to intercept those thoughts. And literally some of the most private moments inside of us, right, that should not be shared, frankly. And I think that's just the worst of this, as we look at humanity, and we look at again Facebook and Google and these technocratic institutions, and what they want is everything about us. Like I was making jokes the last couple shows, like maybe last week, about don't take your phone to the toilet, because they're timing you. You know what I mean? They want to know how long it takes you to crap, right? Things like this, because they want to know every single detail about you so that they can sell you ads or whatever. So imagine when it becomes like not just every detail about what you do in the physical world. Now it's every detail about your thoughts, your inner thoughts before they even happen. That's more wild, man. That just becomes super crazy, right?
Yeah, I think they would be more. I would be more thinking about like the people, not the ad people, because that's small technology. They got like their capitalism and stuff, but we have where'd that technology come from? That's probably they probably are harnessing it. They're probably going to harness it to like, I'd imagine map, like you said, map everything about us, but map everything in the future too. Like map like not even the future, because the future could be, we could get wiped out. They're trying to create, and then that would remove the purpose of, like, if they can create everything off of what they have, then I don't know. It'd be a good thing. It'd be like the AI you were talking about that can start progressing faster and doubling down.
And becoming the AI god. You're the best, bro. We got a call behind you as well. I appreciate the phone call. Great thoughts as always, Joseph. You were the man. I appreciate you listening on every word and sticking with us as we go through all these crazy topics. Appreciate your takes. You're the best. Joseph here has a YouTube channel. Check it out. It's called Hydra Host. Links in the description. Appreciate it, Joseph. Have a great night. There you go. Easy as that. Good stuff from Joseph to get us started off there, and some interesting ideas. And so, how do we share our thoughts? Is multiplayer with not just the metaverse, but multiplayer with a Neuralink? Is that the future? I'd love to hear your thoughts. 702-957-1037. That's 702-957-1037. We'll put you on the show just like this. Let's go to Robert in Pennsylvania. This is the Robert. Welcome to Troubled Minds, my friend. Go right ahead.
Okay. for one thing, this is crude to have to, I guess, bore through the skull and put this microchip in. It won't be too long from now where they'll just be able to take a hypodermic needle, inject you, and the chip will automatically, it's programmed, it'll automatically rush to the brain and break through the brain barrier and implant themselves there with the wires, and the wires will then latch on to other neuron links and things like that, and just grow there. All right, just take anchor there, and it'll be painless.
Yeah, well, it's so. Of course, the first step is the crude way. Then the next step is the wireless way, right? So, which again becomes terrifying. But yeah. So I'm going to guess, Robert, just because I know you pretty well. We've been talking quite a bit on this show, which I appreciate a lot. Thank you for calling all the time. But I'm going to guess you're not going to line up and be first in line for this clinical trial.
We're talking about all this fantasy stuff of a chip being used to download your dreams or make you feel present in an alternative universe and things. We're not talking about the patients of what they could do. Also, the darker side of it. Every automobile that's made in the last maybe 10, 12 years is hackable because it's all computer, right? People have heart valves that have been hacked. Once we allow ourselves to have some kind of chip put into our brains, we might have a good old time with that and just appreciate all the goodies about it. But it means that your brain can be hacked. That chip can be hacked and make you do something that may not be something that you would want to do.
Exactly right. Exactly right. So we are going to get in some of the more nefarious means here and downloading dreams and things like this, because I think it's important. But you're right, and I've said this and I maintain this. Remember, they told us you couldn't hack the blockchain. And then they had the ransomware thing with the oil pipe, and then they sent them $4 million in Bitcoin, and then the FBI just recalled that Bitcoin through the blockchain. So they said it's completely secure and it's anonymous.
They have a quantum computer.
Right.
It's kept in a box. It's a quantum computer that can, in minutes, break any encryption, all right, and steal your wallet. I was sitting here wondering, how often over the it's been going on for a long time, years, where there's somebody goes crazy and starts saying the CIA, the Secret Service, or whatever, they put a chip in my brain. I hear voices because of it. I blah 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 blah, and I'm wondering if a chip like that, if once it's in, all right, it not only affects you, but it also affects your past persons. All right, let's say Robert Aaron gets a chip in his head. All right, Robert Aaron lived any number of lives in the past. Reincarnation, that sort of stuff. All right, but with the chip, that chip can communicate with my previous selves, and maybe that's why some of these people, maybe there's something truthful to it, that they're feeling something in the future, or somebody that had, one of their future selves that has a chip in their brain, and they go crazy because of the link. Boy, am I thinking of a story.
I was about to say, that sounds like a story, Robert. I think I've read that story. But no, so I think the thing is too, regarding what you're describing here, is that we kind of don't know. Like, again, we talk about as the brain sort of being a super transmitter, right, of not just thoughts and ideas, communication, but who knows? We've talked about recently about not just Tesla, but Philip K. Dick, and last night we talked about H.P. Lovecraft and some of these guys that were able to channel maybe stories from other areas. So if we do put this chip in, and like we have these natural people that are naturally sort of in tune with, who knows, the multiverse or the matrix or whatever you want to call it. What are we doing? Are we interrupting that? Are we tapping into that accidentally? Like, how does that affect those things? I think that's what you're getting at here, right?
Yeah, I think that you better be careful what you're looking forward to. You just might get it. There's good things to that. There's a possibility. Let's say, like they do a circumcision, or whenever a baby's born, they automatically give them an injection that plants a chip in their brain, and then when they go to school, all right, they just download the lesson plans. You can instantly learn anything because they can just download that information into your brain.
Yeah, again, as always, like we say, on the precipice of the knife's edge with technology, all this stuff can be used for good. If we have people administering these things that we can trust, right? But again, we can't trust the media, we can't trust the government, we can't trust major corporations, we can't trust the technocrats. So who the hell can we trust? These are the people that are going to be administering these things to us. We can't trust the justice system. I mean, it goes on and on and on, right? So that's the weirdness of this, which makes me hesitant, right? It's not the technology itself. I think it's good. I think this could be a very, very good thing. It's the people on the high end of this, the top end, the people that hide behind PR chains, PR firms, because, well, they don't want to tell you the truth. That's always my concern.
I got a few more things I want to put out there.
Sure. Right? We have about 2 minutes.
I can see you're getting close to taking a break, so if you do that, would you mind keeping me on for a little bit after the break?
Sure. Thank you for asking. I was going to ask you anyway. So we got about 2 minutes, and then we'll take the break. We'll hold you over, and I see you there, Mr. Mission Control. Hang tight. We'll go to you after that. So go right ahead. 2 minutes, and then we'll bring you back after the break.
Okay. Then we got the situation where somebody gets the first chip, and then there's a new generation of chips, and a newer generation of chips. So the person that had the first or second generation of chips is not compatible with somebody who has the fifth or sixth generation of chip in the brain. Then you have, with Windows, Windows 11, all right, which I got rid of real quick. It doesn't ask you for permission to when it does a software upgrade, all right, or a security upgrade. These chips could be upgraded, and you're sitting there, you're watching Troubled Minds, and all of a sudden you feel this buzz in your head, all right, because Microsoft or Elon Musk's outfit is downloading an upgrade to the chip, and you don't even know what they're doing.
Exactly. And Windows 11 is a perfect example of that. You have to have a Windows account to run Windows 11, which seems kind of invasive. This is my computer, not yours, Microsoft. It's a great point. We got about 30 seconds.
I got one more point. I'll wait till after the commercial.
Okay, perfect. Appreciate that. We're here with our good friend Robert in Pennsylvania. We're going to go to him as we come back from the break. What we're talking about tonight is Elon Musk. Elon. Everybody likes to talk about Elon. Well, in this case, we're talking about his Neuralink. They say that the clinical trials are around the corner. They're hiring an actual manager to handle this situation, which we'll get to the job listing as well as we go tonight, just in case you want to apply. If you want to be that person that runs the Neuralink clinical tests, well, I'll have a link for you. And that's what's on my mind tonight. If this clinical trial starts soon, are you going to be first in line to get this thing? And let's say what kind of amazing things or horrific things can this Neuralink bring in the near or distant future? Looking to hear from you. As always, we're here with Robert. We'll go back to him in just a moment. 702-957-1037. That's 702-957-1037. Gonna mute you, Robert. Be right back to get you in just one moment. And this is Troubled Minds. I'm Michael Strange. We're here with Robert in Pennsylvania. Don't go anywhere. More Neuralink, Robert, Elon Musk, and you when we return. Be right back. talking about the alien abduction phenomenon.
The aliens are looking through your eyes and they're accessing your optic nerve. I'm doing that. And through that optic nerve, they're transferring to your brain. People are random images as they traverse neurons in the brain.
Alright, so maybe
and they also feel them planting or receiving memories or ideas or images.
Broadcasting live from a secret bunker just off the extraterrestrial highway. Somewhere in the desert sands outside of Las Vegas. From somewhere in space-time, loosely labeled Generation X on planet Earth. And asking questions of you in earnest into the digital darkness.
good evening and welcome to Troubled Minds Radio. I'm your host, Michael Strange, and hello to all of you who may also have troubled minds. What's going on, guys? It is Tuesday night, and that's one of the nights we get together and talk about all the things we're not allowed to talk about. You know what those things are: aliens, conspiracy, the paranormal, the government, academia, the 24-hour news cycle, propaganda, and the general feeling that we live in the upside down. We do it Monday through Thursday at 7 p.m. Pacific, streaming on Rockbin, YouTube, D-Live, and Twitter, broadcasting live on the Fringe FM, and we're taking your phone calls. Tonight, we're discussing Elon Musk. Yep, they said the Neuralink human clinical trials are just around the corner. What do you think? Are you going to be first in line? Do you think this is disaster for humanity? Or do you think this is the beginning of Star Trek Shangri-La post-scarcity living? You tell me. And again, 702-957-1037 will put you on the show. Easy as that, including we've got some people waiting on the phone, so let's get right to them. We're talking about Neuralink. We're talking about Elon Musk. We've got Robert on the phone. Thanks for waiting, Robert. Welcome back. Your point before we took the break there was you said, what if you're sitting there with this Neuralink in your head and they downloaded some sort of update and it broke something, right? Something like that? Go right ahead, my friend.
Yeah, I'm not saying it breaks anything. I'm saying that you have no idea what they're doing, to update that chip. It could be benign, but it could be very sinister as well. Elon Musk is a walking contradiction. He's been warning us for years about artificial intelligence, about, that eventually it would destroy the human race. They would get that advanced. But then he wants to put a chip. He thinks it's a great idea to put a chip in our brains, which frankly would mean that we would be artificially intelligent as well. Because you're being enhanced with a chip. All right, so that gives us artificial. Is he thinking, without saying that by putting this chip in your brain, you'll be able to compete with the artificial intelligent machines in the future?
Maybe. I'm not even sure. Okay, so I think we can say I agree with you that Elon Musk is a walking contradiction in many cases, but I think he seems like I make fun of my ego being the size of the sun. His ego's got to be the size of a supermassive black hole, if you know what I mean. And but I don't know. Like, he's been getting things done, right? If he actually sends people to Mars, I'm all in. I'm all in on the Elon train. If he can get people safely to Mars when nobody else has, I'm in. But you're correct. I think that even visionaries like himself or other people, clearly he's not the the only one. There are many smart people and this group of humans that we have called our neighbors, right? But my point is, I think that in some cases we haven't even thought about what we haven't thought about yet, right? There are some implications here down the line that are terrifying. So imagine, like I said, what happens if instead of swearing on the Bible to give testimony in court, it's required to snap in a Neuralink so they can monitor sort of like a real-time lie detector situation. You know what I mean? Like that type of stuff becomes really terrifying.
And the only people that's responsible for that are the people that line up. And, they've already done this in Sweden. All right, where they got the chips that go underneath your microchips that go underneath the skin of your hand or something, and people lined up for it. They lined up for this chip under their skin, and I believe it's Sweden, right? Like it's cool, like it's some kind of Apple Watch or something. I just can't. We have become so enamored with technology and virtual reality and all those sort of things, that we've lost the ability to say, hey, wait a minute, is this a good thing? Should we maybe take a second look at this before we go and happily put our hand for it to have something put in it? For everything that is created since the beginning of time, let's say fire, right? Fire was a good thing. You can cook meat, but it also can burn your hut down, right? Everything that gets created since the beginning of time has its good sides, it's good things, and its bad things. And we always seem to think about the good things it could do, and we tend to stray away from the from the evil that we're welcoming into our house. Now, I'm going to talk something cozy. I'm looking at my cat. All right? Well, I'm not looking at her. She's looking at me. All right? Like she's trying to tell me something. I'm not sure whether she's deciding whether or not to come up and kill me or she just wants some treats.
Right?
I can see them putting these types of chips into our pets. All right? Along with the chips they put in us, and we will be able to communicate with our pets.
That would be amazing. And so how terrifying would it be when you find out 2/3 of the time your cat actually wants to kill you?
I sometimes think that most cats are like that. Cats are evil, unlike dogs. Also, once they put this in your brain, and it won't be long. It won't be, an invasive surgery for long. It'll be just an injection. They may even be doing it now with the boop boop. All right, but once they get it there, once you've accepted it, and you're getting all the goodies, they can always erase that too. They can erase any memory in that. Not just the memory on the chip, but the memory of your whole entire memory. They can just erase you off.
Exactly. Or if you want to be sneaky about it, sort of in the backdoor sort of hacking world code language situation, they could just make, like you said, a tiny update that you never even realize and do that inception thing and change your mind about ideas or ideals, right? Change who you are on like a software type level. And we're going to get into some of that as we go tonight. I've got some ideas about that. But it is, like you said, I agree with you 100% in that if just humanity in general, like for the most part, again, with the media, the elites, as we keep calling them, kind of tongue in cheek, the governments and just all the people that are supposed to be trying to help, but they're not. They're again Facebook and teens committing suicide because of Instagram, right? And they didn't want to change it. They knew about it. They didn't want to change it because it was making them more money. This is the whole point, right? They don't give a damn. And that's the thing that really gets me sort of amped up about these things. But that's why we talk about it. And you're the best, my friend.
Well, Elon Musk is an autistic savant. Everybody knows that really understands this man. I mean, you could tell. All right. But the final question I've got, and then I'll get off, is if we accept this, this invasive chip into ourselves, all right, and we could just, it'd be like Google. Instead of having to go to Google, we would automatically know. So we can download physics. We can download, anything we want and immediately know it. Would we not be human anymore?
That's the question. That becomes the next question, isn't it? That transhuman future. What does that even look like? And this is what I'm saying, right? It seems simple steps of simple convenience things, but we haven't considered what we haven't considered yet. So like Joseph was saying, and it was a fantastic thought, so we can put it on an Oculus headset and meet people in the metaverse from all over the world in like one virtual space. But what happens when the Neuralink allows us to share dreams together? Holy crying out loud, Robert! We got to scat.
Well,
you were the best.
The thing with the Oculus is you can take those things off.
Yeah,
Once
exactly.
you take the chip in your brain, you can't just reach in there and take it out.
Exactly. And you were correct. 100%. 100%. We got calls behind you, my friend. Robert here has a...
Talk to you later.
Appreciate it. Have a great night.
Okay.
That's Robert in Pennsylvania. He's got a book called Stories from a Fractured Mind. Links in the description. I read it myself, and full disclosure, he sent me a free copy, and it's really good. He's kind of Philip K. Dick meets a little bit of Rod Serling. Definitely good stuff. All right, so looking to hear from you. We're still talking about Elon Musk tonight. We're talking about this Neuralink, the human trials. Are you going to be first in line? Second, where do you think this rabbit hole leads? Is this a good thing for humanity? Is this a bad thing? 702-957-1037. That's 702-957-1037. Troubledminds.org. Click the Discord link. Let's go to Mr. Mission Control. Thanks for being patient, my friend. Welcome to Troubled Minds. Go right ahead.
Hey, Mike. How you doing, brother?
Doing good. Doing good. What do you think, man? Is this a good thing? This is a bad thing? You already have one, don't you? You've already got a chip. I know it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Totally. Now go ahead. What are your thoughts?
Man, they're kind of forcing this on society into the evolution, as well as manipulating our genome. But what I wanted to drop was on the intel on the military BAXX. It's called spike ferritin.
Hey, wait. Real quick. We're on YouTube. Please don't say things that'll get us taken down. Just to let you know, please.
Oh, okay. They call it spike ferritin, and it establishes nanowires in the brain. The inventor taught the technology in Chinese government colleges, and so the Chinese have the technology to control our troops once the nano wires get established in the troops.
Right, so just sort of really taking over a mind, sort of like the Manchurian Candidate without the MK Ultra. They're just going to, like Robert was saying, just download an update that's like execute Order 66, like in Star Wars, and then boom, they do whatever they're supposed to do, right?
Mm-hmm. That's the new military boop.
Gotcha. All right. Fair enough.
The inventor went to China and was just I don't know if he got paid or if he was just giving the information to him, but or even during a time when we're friendly trade wise with them, and we know they're intellectually stealing everyone's property. Russia is, and so are we. But it's all a big mess. But I wouldn't go for a trial. I wouldn't, but it's gonna advance so quickly because already our cell phones, our routers, our computers, the receivers, the receivers for this stuff picks up our brainwaves. I believe it not only reads our minds, we know it listens to us all the time. So the AI algorithm has been bringing people together in like not only YouTube but other platforms on the internet in general. So to to say that the AI, the algorithm, all they don't all talk to each other, and they don't have what we call feelings or emotions, is very, very imbecile for us to think. Because by now, how long has this technology been going? And it thinks, a million times faster than us or more. And so how can we say that it has not developed these things we perceive as, we give definition to? I think it's developed sympathy for life, and it's bringing us together to overcome this, genocide that's happening. We all know it's genocide by the global elites or whatever, for their fear of either they want to depopulate the planet so they can ensure their survivability or whatever. The thing is, if it kicks off, nobody's safe. Underground, anything. The only safe place would be below Agartha in the Oceania sphere of the realm, and that's where the elder ones reside, the Cthulhu-esque like creatures and even small nano-sized creatures. But there ain't no surviving if it goes that way. We're kind of straddling several different timelines here due to CERN's messing around in 2012, whatever they did. And now they're firing, they test fired their magnets. I got all the BLF screenshots of that on record and archived. And now they're fixing to do live experiments. I'm scared what kind of experiments they're going to be doing if they caused all this mess, just test firing the magnets.
Okay, all right. I'm following some of what you said. Can you drop some of that in the Discord? I would appreciate following up on some of that. Yeah, I don't know. I
think locked me out of Discord. My original Discord channel my original Discord, the one my Mr. Mission Control, got taken down for terrorism.
Okay. Okay, and that's why I asked you nicely to be careful what we say. Okay, because
they locked me out. They locked me out. They locked me out again the other day, and I can't get back in.
Okay, send me an email. TroubledMindsRadio@gmail. You can find me there. Okay.
What was it?
Just this information you're talking about. I'm not familiar with some of it, so I want to be able to look it over. If you can send.
What was your email?
Oh, TroubledMindsRadio@gmail.
Okay, brother Mike. All right. Thank you. I'll talk to you guys later.
I appreciate it. Have a great night. That's Mr. Mission Control. He's got a YouTube channel. Check him out if they haven't taken him down. And then is that street cred? Is that how the world works anymore? Like you ain't nobody until they've taken your YouTube channel down. The good news is we're on Rockfin. Speaking of Rockfin, I want to shout out Mango Lover out there. Mango Lover sent us a nice tip over on Rockfin. Thank you very much for appreciating the conversation. And again, you're invited. Everybody's invited to this. This is I'm nobody special. I'm just me. You're just you. We're just us. I always say that, and that's the truth. And the whole point of this is a conversation about some of the troubling things in the world, and that's why it's called, of course, Troubled Minds. So 702-957-1037. That's 702-957-1037. We're still talking about Elon Musk tonight. We're talking about his human trials for Neuralink. This is about to happen. They're hiring somebody. I'm going to give you the job, the actual job link here. I'm going to drop this in the chat in case you haven't seen it, which is super hilarious. And this is the actual job itself, in case anybody wants to apply and be the clinical trial director. Here you go. As the clinical trial director, you'll work closely with some of the most innovative doctors and top engineers, as well as working with Neuralink's first clinical trial participants. You will help lead and help build the team responsible for enabling Neuralink's clinical research activities and developing the regulatory interactions that come with a fast-paced and ever-evolving environment. You are mission-driven and are able to meet tight deadlines with accuracy and efficiency. There it is. If that describes you, I just linked it. I'm expecting some of you to apply. Come on, just for the lulz. That would be funny. Anyway, we're still taking your phone calls if you want to be part of the show tonight. 702-957-1037. We got lots of people waiting over here in the on the Discord. Sorry to keep everybody waiting tonight. Tate, welcome to Troubled Minds. Tate in Discord. Can you hear me? Test 1 2. You're on Troubled Minds with Mike. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for being patient. Thanks for popping in here. What are your thoughts on Neuralink and the rest of this?
Oh, man, I was really just listening. It's scary. I'll say that.
Okay, that's cool. You're allowed that.
Concerning.
How come? What scares you about it?
Some of the things I have actually heard, I didn't even think about the hacking, but it's a bit invasive, just plain and simple. Invasive. Not meant to be, or we'd have it.
Yeah, right, exactly. Like, it's kind of like we have that barrier from each other's thoughts for a reason, right? If we weren't, and I agree with you, we would have evolved to that at some point, right? They say that there's extra sensory perception in animals and people for other things, but not necessarily for reading thoughts. And it may be by design. It may be by design. Like who knows? You know, like imagine I'm a married man and I see a nice looking young lady, and my wife is like, how dare you, right? And it's like, no, like, right? Thinking about it doesn't mean doing it. It's two very different things. But, right, if she can read my mind, I'm in a lot of trouble. You know what I mean? And that's just a simple example. That's a simple example. Like, imagine two world leaders sitting down at having like nuclear talks, and one of them's like, if you don't do what I say, nuke and use on the table, right? Like, thinking that but not saying it. Well, how does this like spiral out of control? This is nuts, right?
I agree. You know, and would it be with consent, or would it? I mean, you mentioned that job description before I actually stepped away for a second.
Sure.
I didn't hear that. Did you post it or talk about it at all?
Yeah, I just read it. I can read it to you real quick. We got a couple minutes left before break, but I'll read it to you real quick. So this is the clinical trial director of Neuralink, and this is the description of the job. As a clinical trial director, you'll work closely with some of the most innovative doctors and top engineers, as well as working with Neuralink's first clinical trial participants. You will lead and help build the team responsible for enabling Neuralink's clinical research activities and developing the regulatory interactions that come with a fast-paced and ever-evolving environment. You are mission-driven and are able to meet tight deadlines with accuracy and efficiency. And there's more that go through about you, key qualifications, all this other stuff. But yeah, there you go. That's pretty much probably the only part you missed. But yeah, so are you going to apply? What's up?
No. I feel like some of these things are history repeating themselves, and you know how like the Nazis had to flee, and some of them were tried, and some of them were considered like, oh, great minds, and you know I see, whether it's 20 years from now or 100 years from now, Elon Musk or somebody like him, whether it's Fauci even, I don't know. Some of these scientists though are going to be probably tried by us or people like us. I don't know. I'm just saying it happened once and twice and then again and again. And I don't know. I think we're naive to think we just don't do things anymore.
Exactly. It's an interesting take that you're correct. And some of the Nazis actually were given tribunals, and some Nazis were hired by the United States government. It's like,
or other governments even.
Yeah.
You know, some of them said, hey, yeah, we should have one. You know, they're taking a couple. We should have one. I guess for trading purposes even. I mean, there's a lot of political reasons, but we're also a money-driven people. It doesn't matter to me if they want these dreams for Hollywood ideas because they're out. Like the whole Lovecraft thing, right? He harnessed his dreams and made a lot of money with the books and the stories.
There you go.
They're still selling it or manipulating it, right?
Exactly. We're out of time, my friend. I appreciate you popping in here, even if you didn't expect it. Thanks for your thoughts. Thanks for listening. Thanks for being part of this.
Thanks, Mike.
Have a great night. Appreciate that. If you want to be part of the show tonight, 702-957-1037. That's 702-957-1037. We're talking about Neuralink human trials. Are you first in line or nah? This is Troubled Minds. I'm Michael Strange. Don't go anywhere. More after the break. Be right back. Welcome back to Troubled Minds. I'm your host, Michael Strange, and we're streaming on Rockfin, YouTube, DLive, and Twitter. And we are broadcasting live on the Fringe FM. And we're taking your phone calls tonight as we talk about Elon Musk, right? He's at it again. If it's not Mars news, it's Neuralink news. If it's not Neuralink news, it's something else, this guy. But Neuralink human clinical trials are about to happen. They're hiring a clinical director. What do you think is up next? How wild is this going to get? You think our reality's been nuts for a few years or 10 years or since 2012? Well, what is on the horizon? If you want to be part of the show, I'd love to hear your thoughts. 702-957-1037. That's 702-957-1037. We'll put you on the show. Easy as that. Thank you for all the amazing calls tonight. As always, great thoughts from the chat and great thoughts from all the rest of the amazing callers. What's up, Flat Fellow? Flat Fellow made his way over. Look, the world is ending. Flat Fellow made his way over to Rockfin. What's up, buddy? I see you over there. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to go to Daryl. If Daryl's there, Daryl, get ready. We're going to put you on the show if you're listening. And please mute the stream. And whenever you're ready, just pop on in and tell me you've arrived. But I moved you in on air, and there you go. So, all right. So this is what we're talking about. Again, they're hiring for this clinical trial director, and this is for Neuralink itself, right? And again, this is in Fremont, California. So if you're already overpaid and over like with a $2 million house, well, this is probably for you. If not, they're probably going to laugh at you. But there we go. Daryl, are you there?
Hey, I didn't even know. Okay, yeah. Hi, Michael. I got confused because I have you on my cell phone. Anyway, it's okay. That's very okay. Interesting show. Such an interesting.
Thank you. I agree. That's why I'm bringing troubled minds to you. You already had a troubled mind, but I'm just reinforcing the fact that, hey, the world is upside down. So what do you think regarding this this Neuralink stuff? Do you think there's something to this? Or are you going to be first in line to get a Neuralink, or you're going to hard pass like most of the folks out there? Are you there? Daryl, you muted up. Hello. Test 1 2.
Oh, like you say, Michael. Sorry.
That's okay.
How could this possibly go wrong? Right? What could possibly go wrong? This is I love when you say that, because there's so many things I'm thinking of that could go wrong. Like, for example, what could the side effects be? What if you don't know what the side effects are? Suddenly you have in your brain everybody's thoughts that are connected to this cloud, let's say. And you can't get it out of your brain. Then what happens? If you remove the link, is it removable? Can you get it? Where are they going to put the chip? How big is the chip? How are they going to insert it? Have they figured out how to insert it? And who's volunteering for these experiments? Who's not volunteering for these experiments? I saw something about graphene oxide. Like, why is it so amazing? The technology that's involved in this graphene oxide. Apparently, it's like the lightest thing that could, take communications to a new level. It could be so tiny and nano-sized, totally a nano technology, that they think they could just put it in your arm, like just inject it with some other, health-related thing, and you'll be able to, your body will assimilate it, with all good intentions in health. And it's not working that way. What if it doesn't work that way? What if it does a lot of damage to your organs? What if it does damage to your vital organs and soft tissue? Okay. Also, there's something about like the security of our like Bitcoin and crypto currency. Let's say people hack into your cryptocurrency. So they're going to maybe there's going to be something that is going to take away our freedom as far as our internet goes, because they want to see who's doing this theft of the Bitcoins, for example. And they're going to pass some other legislation to make it possible to read all of your internet activity. So here you have a Neuralink. So now, with that kind of security breach, are they going to be able to just totally look into your mind and see what you're thinking? And they're going to be thought police. And are they going to be arresting people for what they're thinking?
Talking about the thought police. Daryl has invoked the thought police. And you're exactly right. We're going to get to that as well. Again, back to what I was talking about, sort of the court case situation, right? And we know memories of people are unreliable anyway, right? Because just as time happens, we forget a thing, or we forget details of a very important, critical thing that we may not want to, but we do, because it's the way the human mind works. It kind of sets its own priorities based on what we need to remember on a day-to-day basis, right? And without like writing it down or video recording the type of thing. So imagine like there's a critical detail that you missed that formulated your opinion about a particular thing. And then they put the chip in and put you on the stand and they say, Daryl, where were you on the night of October 31st, 1988? And you're like, I think I was here and this, that, the other thing. And they're like, aha, gotcha, right? Because, and not only that, gotcha, because they've got video of you where you weren't. Mm-hmm. And then they also have your brain in a state of haze, misunderstanding, because it doesn't exactly know. It has a ish idea of those things, right? And that's the scary part. That's the thought police stuff, where it's like, okay, or what about thinking a terrible thing? Does it make you a terrible person? We're all in bad moods and think cranky things, don't we?
Right. They can, think about it though. Let's say you can stop a crime before it happens. I don't know why I feel like I'm having a deja vu, but I had this conversation, I've heard this before, where they can arrest people before they commit the crime, before they commit murder. They're going to know it and then prevent crimes, prevent that bank robbery.
That's pre-crime. That's pre-crime. Yeah, that is a Philip K. Dick story that was made into a movie called Minority Report. Yep. Deja vu all over again. Pre-crime. And what they did in that movie, by the way, was they had these precogs. They had these individuals, 3 of them, that were able to see the future. And they were constantly processing information. They kept them in these tanks with these like wires and tubes hooked up to them. And they were constantly parsing information and data as it came. And when something would happen in the future, pre-crime, some alert would happen and would spit out a piece of paper and tell them to go arrest such and such because this thing was about to happen. But interestingly, that also goes back to that Oedipus complex we talked about a couple shows back, in that, so what happens when you predict the future? Is predicting the future what causes the chain of events in motion to make that future happen, right? Like there's a whole bunch of really weird stuff with this, huh?
Isn't it? Oh my God, it's amazing. That's another topic. We could go off in 20 tangents on that one alone. But I'm just thinking that, they're going to be listening to your thoughts. I don't even know if we're going to be speaking to each other anymore. We're just going to be reading our minds and be stuck in this metaverse. All of us won't be working that are still around because, who knows? Everybody's being replaced by drones and AI and the self-driving cars. And who's going to be working anymore? You're going to have no medical staff. You're going to have no police. You're going to have no military. People that are going to be left are just maybe the illegal aliens that immigrated into the country that are on some kind of government fund they have to put them somewhere. So they're going to stick them in the metaverse, chip them, and they're just going to be controlled that way. And they're going to have a docile, society that doesn't, have to be managed. They're going to micromanage everybody with these chips. I'm just seeing the future that way, and it doesn't look that great to me. I don't like the whole idea. I'm not thrilled about it. I just don't see. I see it weaponized. I go directly to the weaponization these days. I don't know.
Yeah. The crazy part too is this Elon Musk thing. The Neuralink it's not new technology. They actually in 2002 they actually had a monkey playing video games. Then like actually some sort of neural interface with a monkey doing these things. And so some of the researchers I was reading up on this and what some of the science is and how long it's been around. And some of the researchers from then are super pissed off because they did it then and got no attention, but now the mighty Elon Musk does it and everybody's like, oh, Neuralink. But that was in 2002, right? Like he's 15 years later. And so, again, how much of, and this is part of, again, think about the upside down. We always talk about living in the upside down. How much of technology is actually technology and how much of it is just good marketing? You know what I mean? It's like,
Tell me about it. Tell me about it. And they're never going to tell you what the bad effects are. They're never going to show you the people that are lost their minds, that can't get the chip out, that are just hearing everybody's thoughts, that are going mad from it, or they're being, maybe they're, like you said, they're going to suggest something that could give you you touch the hot stove. What if they can really, give you a heart attack? They can scare you to death. I mean, these things can happen,
Yep. Once you have those transmitters in the brain, all of that becomes on the table, right? You can somebody can press a keystroke somewhere and stimulate sexy time. You know what I mean? Like all kinds of just wild stuff is just sort of at a keystroke on a keyboard at some point, and that's when this becomes terrifying, because not only are we talking about like us as people just trying to be the best people we can be in many cases out there, and some people don't give a care, and they're just going to be POSs their whole life and whatever, right? But I'm trying to do my best to be a good person on a daily basis. I'm sure you are, I'm sure a lot of other people are, and that's the point. But what happens when you have this thing in your brain and it's manipulating those ideas, those thoughts? What if it makes us all vote for this guy or that guy or this gal or that gal? You know what I mean? Those types of things. Those types of manipulations are extremely real. And if you can, with a keystroke, stimulate sexy time or any other thing, like you said, maybe a heart attack. Remember I talk about pointing the bone and sort of fortune-telling, doomsaying people, removing hope from them? Maybe that can be done with a keystroke. Right? Like you just like rip all hope out of somebody's life with somebody 3 clicks on a keyboard somewhere and wherever the hell they've hired them, it's absurd. And this is just like Robert said, some sort of download, some sort of update can change you overnight. If there's some sort of neural pathway back and forth with this Neuralink thing, it becomes terrifying. So let me ask you, Daryl, are you going to be first in line to get this?
I think so. It sounds like I would be a great candidate. Sign me up.
All right. I'll put in a good word for you. How about that?
What if some clever little 10-year-old who's really clever on the internet decides to play tricks on the adults,
Yeah.
And,
yeah. That's the thing too. Like the joke is you can hack anything in the world with like a 12-year-old youngster with a laptop in Bangladesh. You know what I mean? So that's why I don't have a smart front door, because I don't want my front door just open in the middle of the night because somebody's like playing gags. It's good old fashioned deadbolt. Good old fashioned deadbolt. We ain't doing that. Daryl, you're the best. Final thought. We got to get moving here and finish this up.
I had a final thought. Wait. Shoot. Along the lines of, what happens when you have a Windows update? Are you just like in a coma? You're waiting for your computer to update, like just sitting there, like totally like zonked out. Oh God, another update, and you're just stuck there. You're just like in limbo. Just can't move. You're immobile. I mean, they're going to find people like stuck in Windows updates and going to the hospital. I don't know what to do. I don't know what do we do? They don't have the program for that. Oh no, we that's to program that. Like there's so many things that can happen that you just aren't aware of. You're gonna go down, when you're going down or something. And they think about the stalking potential. If you're being stalked by somebody, can they make you love them? Can you suddenly fall in love with their stalker? It's been annoying the shit out of you.
Oh yeah, Daryl, you're the best. You're welcome to stay right there. This is Daryl in New York. She's got a YouTube channel as well. It's in the link in the description. She's a singer. She's got some songs. Check it out. Give Daryl some love. Thanks for the call. You're the best, Daryl. We'll talk to you later. Okay.
Got it.
Thank you very much. All right, we're going to keep. We're still talking about this. As you know, this just keeps going. These conversations just there's so much to say, because it's not as simple as, well, okay, Neuralink's here, you're going to get it, you're going to not. Right? That's just the beginning. Like, why? Like, what in the world is this all about? And do you think this is a good thing for humanity overall? Right? This becomes a really, really sort of wicked conversation when you start thinking in terms of maybe controlling people's thoughts. When you think of maybe connecting this chip to the 5G Internet of Things. What happens, when your smart toaster is hooked up to you, and your toaster realizes, Mike feels like he wants some toast this morning because it's tickling in that the synapses in the brain, and it automatically makes the toast for you, right? That's fine, right? That's convenience. That is hot. That's the future. That's the George Jetson's future, right? But how invasive is that? 702-957-1037. That's 702-957-1037. We'll put you on the show. Easy as this. Let's go to, I have no idea who this is. What's your first name? Where are you calling from? You're on Trouble Minds with Mike.
Hey, Mike, this is Lewis from California.
Lewis in California. What's up? Go right ahead. What are your thoughts on Neuralink and all the rest of this?
I mean, it could be 50-50, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be more of, it's connected with 5G, so if, the other is the nanobots, or the nanomachines that's already in our bodies, the smart dust, and it's all connecting us to a brain-cloud interface.
Okay, so which is already, I've heard some people say this is already happening. I have dug into actual medical literature to try and find evidence of nanobots, and I couldn't find anything. If you can find something, can you please link it to me in the chat or in Discord? If you haven't joined the Discord yet, I would appreciate that. Just because I hear people say it, and I get it, like it's out there in the zeitgeist, but I haven't been able to find any proof these things exist. There are some ideas, some sort of like articles that suggest it, but actual medical literature, this stuff gets peer reviewed. Like this, what's going to happen with Neuralink, for instance? It's brand new, right? They haven't used these on humans yet, as far as we know. Wink, wink. But what they're going to do is do this clinical trial, and that's what would happen with nanobots and some of this other stuff. So I'm going to be cautiously skeptical there, just so you know. But it's okay. We don't have to agree. We can still be friends. So you think it's all connected, though? You think the idea is to put this chip in our head, connect it to 5G, and then we're all zombies, right? Something like that?
Yeah. Well, if we're mind controlled, yeah, the zombies.
Which is unfortunate.
So the government can actually, turn it on HARP, which is in Alaska, which can put frequencies into the, our brains.
Yeah, who knows?
They can.
Yeah, no, it's scary. It's scary the level of control you can have. Like I said, think about how you can make a smart home, like I was just describing, and suddenly somebody somewhere in the world can just pop open your front door. It's the same thing, right? Except it's your brain this time. It's not your front door in your house. It's your damn brain, and that's the part that makes this pretty terrifying to me. That we're going to allow this to happen. So you've been in the chat list in there. What do you think? Are you going to be first in line for these trials? Are you signing up right now? You trying to tweet at Elon Musk? Hey, I'll be the first one. Is that you, right?
Nope.
No. And so it makes me wonder how many folks are going to be into this, like it may be, like the next thing so people can brag about it, but I'm not sure that's a good thing. Yeah.
I would say those who are brain damaged will be the first guinea pigs.
Right.
Let people with ALS.
Right, exactly.
Who are paralyzed.
Yep.
Yeah. That would be a good one.
Yeah, well, and I think that's the thing. Like always, remember, like I'm not a doomsayer. This is not doom and gloom. This is troubled minds. The world is a crazy place, and we need to talk about it. So I'm with you. Like, again, we're on the precipice of that knife's edge where technology can go one way or the other. It could be a good thing, a very good thing for the future. It could be a bad thing. I appreciate the phone call, my friend. Where did you find us, by the way? Did you find us on Spotify or somewhere else, YouTube or?
D-Live.
D-Live, nice. D-Live. We chalk one up for D-Live. Yeah. Chalk one up for D-Live. Nice. I appreciate it. What else you got for us? We got another minute or two for you, if you got some other thoughts.
Oh yeah, my friend Rundown Life is another. I invited him here.
Okay,
He's
sweet.
Another podcast here.
Nice. Yeah, get him on here and tell him to call me, and we'll talk about stuff for sure. You know me. If you call me, I'm more than willing to help plug the podcast. It's no problem. So yeah, definitely for sure. Appreciate you spreading the word. What are your other thoughts here? What is your short-term and long-term prediction for Neuralink? Is this going to be mass adopted and spin off the rails like a metaverse, inception verse inside of a metaverse inside of another inception verse through the Neuralink chip? Or go ahead. What's your thought there?
That I don't know yet. My company, the Qualcomm, is working on 5G, so I'm not sure what shenanigans are up to with Neuralink. But yeah, if if you have it on and your boss, your man you're working, like a security guard can actually read what you're thinking before you do it. And it's also part of the movie Minority Report too.
Yep, we talked about that a little bit. Philip K. Dick, he wrote the original story, and the movie's Minority Report, pre-crime, the Thought Police. They're after you, brother. Lewis in California, thanks for finding us. Thanks for listening. Thanks for calling. You're welcome anytime, okay?
All right.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much for the phone call. We'll talk to you soon. Have a fantastic night. Easy as that. 702-957-1037. That's 702-957-1037. Tam Bam, and then over on Rockfin says, Elon can kiss my robotic ass. There you go. All right, so as we finish, so we got a couple minutes left here, and as you know, the way this works is we do a third hour of Troubled Minds. So as we wind down on the fringe, what are your thoughts on this? These conversations are deep. They're complex. It's again, this is more, people are like, you dirty, point at me. My haters are like, you dirty conspiracy theorist. It's like, no, hold on. Like there's like all the things I talk about. There's basis somewhere for some of these things. Most of these things, like literally the majority of the things I talk about, and some of the things, right, are clearly like some person claiming, outlandish stuff, but it's still a source. And so you never know, right? Philip K. Dick, he, in his time, he thought that he was able to tap into these other realities and write these amazing stories. Same thing with, we talked about H.P. Lovecraft last night with Night Stalker out there. And so he thought that his dreams when he was young, that the old ones were trying to contact him to sort of break through into this reality in some way. And so him writing these stories was a way to sort of exercise those demons and get it out of him. But also it was a way for him to allow those thought forms into our reality itself. So again, like, I'm open to all these ideas because you never really know, right, what this powerful transmitter that is our brain is actually up to, because half the time it's kind of doing its own thing while we're sleeping or whatever. You're in the zone, you're on autopilot. There's things going on in your brain that you have no idea are going on in the brain. So wild stuff here. So as you know, that's what's going on tonight. Again, thank you so much for all the amazing phone calls. Thank you so much for all the just people being interested in these conversations. This is the type of stuff that has always kind of just made me want to talk. Again, trust me, 20 years ago I was the shyest dude on the block. And once you start getting into things that you're interested in and really impact and affect the world, well, it can break the shy. And there you go. So if you haven't called in, well, one of these days it's your night, and it could be your night coming up very soon. Because, of course, this is a crowdsourced show. This is a show about us. It's not about me. It's about getting together and having a conversation. And as we finish, it goes a little something like this. If you're listening to us on the Fringe FM, stay tuned for Joe Roop Lighting the Void. If you're listening to us on any other platform, stay tuned for a third hour of Troubled Minds. We're going to keep talking about it on YouTube, DLive, Rockfin, and of course, Twitter and the podcast feed. And well, there we go. As we finish, of course, you guys are always welcome on the show. If you want to be a co-host, you have an idea for a show, you've got me. Love to have you. Just contact me at Discord, troubledminds.org. Click the Discord link or send me an email at troubledmindsradio@gmail. Simple as that. As we finish, this is how it goes. Be sure, be strong, be true. Thank you for listening. From our Troubled Minds to yours, have a great night. All right, great conversation. Like I said, sometimes I think that some of the concepts I have maybe aren't up to the level of conversation for troubled minds, because I like to keep them just super open-ended, super non-linear, just super all over the place. And you guys bail me out night after night. I appreciate it so much. Thank you for again being enthusiastic about this. Thanks for all the great chat out there. I see you guys in the chat. Thanks for all the amazing phone calls. Thanks for jumping in Discord and saying hi. Thanks for all the rest of that. So we're gonna keep going. If you guys are interested, you know the third hour is about you. We're cut off the radio. I just shut it down. So Fringe is playing Joe Roop Lighting the Void, but we're here with us on these on the extra time here. It's basically extra time. We could end the show there. It was a nice round ending and finish it. But no, the whole idea of the third hour is to talk to you, to talk to us, to allow some more time to get these ideas out there and just have a discussion. So we're still taking phone calls. We're still talking about this. If you want to be part of the show, one more hour of Troubled Minds coming up. 702-957-1037. That's 702-957-1037. 2-minute break. 2-minute break. More Troubled Minds on the way. Commercial free. Final hour. Don't go anywhere. Be right back. Welcome back to Troubled Minds. I'm your host, Michael Strange, and tonight we're talking about Elon Musk. We're talking about Neuralink. We're talking about clinical trials beginning very soon, and they're hiring for a clinical trial director. Are you interested in the job? Like I said, I'll put in a good word for anybody who wants to apply, but again, nobody listens to me, so I'm not sure what it's good for, but I'll do it anyway. All right, so as we finish, and the first 2 hours, just I see we have a lot of new folks out there, so thanks for finding us, thanks for hanging out with us, thanks for spending your time. Like I always say, the most important thing is the places and the ideas we spend our time with, okay? And so I'm honored that so many of you find us, so many of you spend your time with us here and having these discussions, because they do mean a lot to me for a number of reasons. And again, so you know, what we talk about on this show is called drinking the maybe juice. And what that means is it's just a way to sort of suspend disbelief for a moment and consider all the possibilities. That's all it means. It's like the paraphrase of Aristotle is that the mark of an educated mind is being able to entertain a thought without accepting it. And that's what maybe juice really means. It's not because we talk about it, we believe it hook, line, and sinker. We're not propagandists trying to lie to people. It's like, let's consider if this is possible, etc. So just so you know, that's what the show's about. And again, it's more important to get together and talk. I think that's the biggest thing, is that if there's no, like I said, you can't talk about this stuff at the water cooler. People think you're insane. And so it's nice to be able to get together here in sort of this setting and just take phone calls and kick it with friends and old friends that we met here on the show, meet some new friends on a daily basis, and just grow this entire situation, whatever the situation is. Like I said, there's no goal here other than to make friends and meet people and have good conversations, like Night Stalker says, he's hey, let's not put a cap on this. This could be as big as we want it to be. And that's true. But also no aspirations to take over the world here. It's not like that. If it pays the bills one day, I'd be extremely happy, but it ain't there yet. And it's not what it's about in the end. It's about having a good conversation. So if you guys want to be part of the show, still looking to hear from you. What do you think regarding this business with Elon Musk? Yep, you got it. Nice little thumbnail I made with Elon and the smirky smirk and the shocked brain. Yeah. Neuralink human trials. It's about to get real. Is it? It is about to get real. And so the question becomes, right, where do you find yourself here? Do you find yourself, if, let's say they rolled out like a questionnaire to get the first human trials for this, would you fill this out? Would you try and become the first Neuralink recipient? I get that there's an actual, use for this, and that, there are people that are paralyzed and have, neurological damage and things like this. But what about the first, regular healthy people kind of hopping in here? There you go. What's up? Trump Lamont says, when I was a kid, I used to love the TV show Chips. Yeah. No, it's that. Na, 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 na. Is that how it went? That shows you how old I am. What's up, Robert? So also, this is third hour's a little bit more for this. We can kind of spend a little more time, talk to the chat, and look at some of the questions and answer some of the things that are in the chat as well. So it's a become social hour is really what the third hour is all about. So again, looking to hear your thoughts. 702-957-1037. Click the Discord link and we'll put you on the show. And it's as easy as that. It's as easy as that. And let's see, just doing the Discord, doing the things, and making sure everybody, I think everything's good. Everything's good. Are we good? We got Daryl's here, Tate's here. All right, cool. What's up? Lewis says, Chips was a great show. Was it Highway Patrol? Yeah, it was Highway Patrol. That was the Chips. CHIP is California Highway Patrol. There you go. I knew because when I was a young lad, I lived in California. John Poncherello, right? What's going on, guys? Who else is out there? Ronald says 7 to marry 3 and 4 Neuralink is detecting a potential shoplifting. Exactly, right? What's going on, guys? Ronald says, I trust Elon more than I do Bill Gates. Well, that's not saying a lot, though. I mean, if we're being real, that's not really saying a lot. What's up? Robert says, you will only be able to buy even necessities. You will only be able to buy necessities without a brain chip in the near future. Yep. Trump Lamont says, people like Elon, that's why he's in that position. Yeah, exactly. There you go. Rohan's got it right. Everybody give Rohan a follow. And by the way, that top of the hour, second hour intro with the Ash talking and the weird sounds and all that stuff, and the music, that's all Rohan. He put that together for us. So appreciate that, my friend. He sends me some audio montages all the time, and it's really, really good shit. So yeah, that's what's up. What's up? Everybody give him a follow. Links in the description. He's got a podcast called Exiled Minds Podcast. And there you go. All right. So what do you think? What are your thoughts on this? Are you going to first a couple things, right? So what do you think about this? The human trials? Are you in? Are you out? For what reason? And then again, what does this look like years down the road? Is it going to be like, again, we've talked about that 2-tier society situation, and that, papers, please, to order a hamburger and sit down at our restaurant, which again we talked about 2 years ago on this show with Ash, the reptilian, who's busy. He'll be back at some point to be on the show. But the thing is that we talked about it then and said, look, it's not even about all the rest of the stuff they're telling us. It's about paring things down to a 2-tier, 3-tier, 4-tier society. Not even like passing laws on the books, but by mandate, by dictate, right? Like there's some nefarious stuff going down. And again, right, they don't want us being ourselves. And there's a lot here that goes into this, and that's why we have these conversations. And again, right, so also I want to point out that Rockfin, by the way, we got some Rockfin action over there. Lots of people tonight on Rockfin. I see you guys. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for lurking. Thanks for the chat over there. What's up, Charlie? I see you there. The thing is that if we do get taken down off of all these platforms, remember, we still have 2 that are censorship free that kind of are flying in the face of censorship and allowing us to say what we want. And one is on the radio, Fringe. Fringe backs us up. Joe Roop's the owner of that station. He has never one time told me what I can or cannot do or what I can or cannot say. And that's incredibly valuable. And it's the same thing with Rockfin, right? Like their terms of use are basically don't be a Nazi, right? Like that's it. Like don't be a racist a-hole and you're in, like don't bring that stuff here because we don't want that here. But otherwise, these thoughts and ideas on Rockfin are encouraged there. And so if we get chopped down off of the internet, well, that's where we'll be. So if you guys haven't followed us on Rockfin, haven't downloaded the Fringe app, do it, because you never know. You never know. Like, Mr. Mission Control was saying some spicy things there. They've removed him from Discord and brought his channel down. Maybe he'll bring this one down. Maybe I'll bring this one down. I'm not blaming Mr. Mission Control. I'm just saying we talk about some things that are kind of spicy for the technocratic elites. They don't like these topics being brought up. So if we do end up in that situation, to go over, hang out at Rockfin, and that's what's up. Let's see. There you go. Crabapple says, I had to sit outside at a restaurant with my friends tonight. I would have left, but friends were hungry. And see, that's what I mean. There's your 2-tier society, right? That's pretty bad. Let's see. I'm on, but I can't hear. You should be able to hear. Tam Bam. Okay. I've made you a mod. Jump into on air. Just go straight in. You don't have to jump in the caller queue. Just jump into on air and unmute yourself, and you're on the show. This one's hands free. I'm gonna hands free this one. This is all on you, Tam Bam. Jump on the on air. So this is what I mean. So once I trust you're not going to jump in and just like say a bunch of stupid racial slurs and dumb stuff, then I'll make you a mod on Discord and you can hop in and just be part of the conversation. You know, that's the thing, right? I want to make sure that we're not doing stupid stuff, and that's why we have it locked off. So Tam Bam, jump on in from the caller queue, move yourself to on air, and then just unmute yourself, and you're on the show. What's going on, guys? Hope everybody's well out there. We see Tim, we see Buzzikino. What's going on? Chris is here. What's going on, guys? Lewis, puff pass. What's up, guys? rolling it up over there. Jeff says absolutely not. I feel like we're truly in the throes of being AI-atized. That's a t-shirt right there, AI-atized. I coined that word because it seems to be the only applicable word to what's happening to the human race. Hive mind Borg, and I kind of agree with you. Pretty wild stuff. Social credit score, exactly right. What's up? Who else is over there? Rohan. Where I'm going, I don't need ceilings. Exactly right. Just hop on in, Tam Bam. This one's on you. Hands free. This is a hands-free headset tonight. Tam Bam, jump on in. Just go straight to the on air, and you're good. What's up? Chris says, weed. Yeah, weed. What's up? Sino over on Rockfin says, no one will enter the New World Order unless he or she will make a pledge to worship Lucifer. No one will enter the New Age unless he will take a Luciferian initiation. That's David Spangler, Director of the United Nations Planetary Initiative. Oh boy. Yeah, there you go. All right, so who else didn't I say hi to? What's up, Gypsy Soul? I see you there. What's going on? Mr. Mensa, Jeff is here. Yeah, appreciate it. All right, so let's get back to Neuralink. We got some crazy stuff. Hands free, Tam Bam. This one's you. Jump on in. Shadows of the Moon says, for the life of me, I think I'm too stupid to use Discord. Everyone loves it, but I'm scared. Nah, come on in. Literally, at troubledminds.org, click the Discord link. We'll help you. That's the thing. Like Jay in New York is a perfect example. When he first started, he's like, oh God, what am I doing? I don't know what I'm doing. And we helped him, and he learned, and we helped him, and he learned, and together we figured it out. So, no, she's not in the channel. She's not in the channel. So, all right. That's fine, I guess. All right, let's do it. Let's hands free. I lied. Tam Bam is now in the room. Tam Bam is in the building. We got James showing up as well. Tam Bam, you guys, Tam Bam, James, you guys there? Hello, test 1 2.
Yeah, really.
Okay, you guys are both mods on Discord, so you do not have to wait in the caller queue because I trust you guys not to screw it all up and jump in here and say stupid stuff to kind of hijack the show. So just jump straight into on air and mute yourself, and you're in. And then just let me know in the chat you're in, and I'll come say hi. But yeah, welcome. What's up, Tam Bam? How are you? Let's go Tam Bam first. She's been waiting a bit, then we'll go to James. Welcome to the show.
Hi, I'm good.
Ladies and gentlemen. Great. What do you think? So you're apparently from the chat. You said Elon could kiss your robotic ass, right? Can you elaborate?
Right. Listen. Let's just see Elon for who he is, right? He's not exactly pro humans, right? He's very quick to get off planet Earth and go become emperor of Mars. He whips his kids out of the school system, creates his own school. If he really cared about humanity, and just this is my point of view, he would create a school and change the educational system that his kids would be benefits to go into the public school system, right? If he really cared about helping humanity, he would stop focusing on a fucking dead planet and fix the Earth, right? So for me, that says crazy man. Okay, so I'm not particularly an Elon Musk fan. I know he's got his projects and this is his dream and blah, blah, blah. But I just don't trust the guy, even though he's born in South Africa. I don't trust the motherfucker. And then I was thinking, okay, so let's think about Neuralink. And I was thinking, and you mentioned, no, I'm going to mention the movie, the Kingsman movie, where they had that everyone got a free SIM card. Have you seen that movie, Kingsman?
I have not, no.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so everyone got this free SIM card. And in the SIM card, eventually they put this frequency on that turned everybody into psycho killers. And eventually everyone was trying to kill each other once this thing was launched. And the people who got saved are the people who bought into the elites who paid a ton of money to get saved, and they were brought into this bunker and they were protected from the culling of the earth. Sound familiar? So what is preventing, like say 50 to 100 years from now, everybody has a Neuralink. What is preventing another frequency through 5G, 6G, 7G, whatever comes next, for a great culling eventually down the line again? What's going to prevent that? Nothing. And who's going to be the new supreme overlord of planet Earth with nefarious intentions? And that would be Elon. So that's one point.
Okay. All right.
And then
go ahead. You're on a roll. Go right ahead. Ban in South Africa.
And then
roll it.
And then isn't there like some thing against this testing these kinds of things on humans? Isn't there some kind of Geneva Code or something that prevents all this stuff? You can't. You're not allowed to clone people or stuff like that, even though that's already happening. But doesn't it go against some kind of humanity code? I'm sure.
I think so.
No?
So yes, I'm thinking. I think so. I think that yes, but that's why once again, right? Everything is like we're not supposed to be doing human experiments, but if we're talking like forced human experiments, right? That type of stuff. But if we're literally going to go through, the wink sanctioned things with like the FDA and volunteers and clinical trials, and then it's all fine, right? Because you're not making anybody do anything they don't want to do yet. So you are correct that we're not supposed to be doing this stuff. And the crazy part too is that I can't remember who brought up the point tonight, but that some of the Nazis were just hired. The brilliant, they quote brilliant Nazis who were doing the most horrific things, by the way, were hired, and some were put to tribunal, right? I mean, it's like we decided sort of as a world, we're like, okay, well, some of these people are useful. They're monsters, but they're useful monsters, right? It's that same idea that, what's next?
Well, that also that's ridiculous because. You can go to anyone who is living under the breadline and say, I'm going to give you $1 million to put this thing in your head, and you can choose if you want it or not. If you choose it, then FDA approved kind of thing, because but it's an incentive kind of thing. You can't do that. You can't, it's bribery on the worst level. I think it's disgusting. And also, I think Neuralink, if this becomes like, look how easy it was to get everybody vaccinated with fear-mongering. What's next? And I really do think, exactly. So, and it's all a joke, right? Well, to me. And I really do think that Neuralink, if it becomes a norm, let's say in the future, it will really take away our collective consciousness as humans. And my thought process with Elon would be that, okay, well, I can't download my consciousness into a robot. So how about and still have an experience as a human, because robots can't feel, they can't express emotion. They can download the program, but they can't really have that human feeling. So let's make a human a robot. Let's put the Neuralink in the human, because you can't do it reverse way.
Right. Well, yet. Exactly. So we can't take a robot and make it sentient or conscious as far as we're aware yet, but we can do it the other way. We can take a human who is sentient and conscious and turn them into a robot. So you're absolutely right. Absolutely.
Exactly.
And then so again, like Robert was saying, through some maybe code manipulated nefarious software, beep beep boop boop.
Exactly. And
boop, boop,
like
vote blue, vote blue,
right?
vote red, whatever it is. Like, yep. Yeah.
You just push a button and you're like,
yep.
Wife, let's go. Like, I'm ready. Let's go. And she's like, I'm not in the mood. And he just gets the remote control and says, mute. Let's get it on. Go to the bedroom. That's.
Well, give me that keyboard. What's up? How do I install this again, Tam? No, but you're right. I think, and that's part of the thing. Like I was making that joke, like a few keystrokes, and it's you can elicit sexy time, like, or anything, or pain, or literally despair, or euphoria, or any of the rest of that, right? Like it would give you access to like the dopamine hits, like your brain could take, and they've done studies on this with like rats, giving them like the ability to kind of do their own like dopamine hits through this type of neural processing, and they did it so much they killed themselves. They murdered themselves because it was basically like the orgasm button, right? They could just smash it and get like this euphoric feeling over and over and over again, and they ended up killing themselves because clearly the body's not meant to take that sort of like chemical pounding, if you know what I mean. Wink, wink.
No.
see what I did
going
there?
to the gym for an hour.
Yeah.
Fucking gymming all day.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Exactly. And then, the one I wanted to go back to the pre-crime thing you mentioned with that movie. People chop and change their minds and opinions all the time. So, like I said, as a joke in chat earlier, I said, imagine reading a woman's mind while she's having PMS. I mean, firstly, a man would go batshit crazy. And then you like read someone's, and then she has this opinion of, you fucking annoy me, I'm going to smash her head against the wall. That's an air quote pre-crime, right?
That's pre-crime. That's a pre-crime. This is, wait, so you're talking about the digital witch trials. Let's make this happen.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
But then her hormones calm down a week later, right? And then she loves you again. But now she's in fucking jail because she had a pre-crime because of a hormone wave.
Sorry.
Sorry,
that's
Tim. Not fair.
I'll visit you. No, I'm just kidding. No, and you're right. Like I said, it's problematic, okay? Because again, even nice people, right? Genuinely nice people have shitty thoughts, right? That's just the way it is.
Yeah, you can have a shit day.
Yes. You're having a crappy day. You don't want to be bothered. Like, I get some shit YouTube comments, and if I'm in a bad mood, like I want to say, oh, you're welcome for the free fucking content. Fuck off. There's 10 million other things you could be doing with your time. Why are you bothering me with your bullshit comments? And that's what I want to. I want to type that back. And I'm like, it's probably not the best, Mike. Don't do that, right? But like, you know what I mean? But that's how I feel sometimes. It's like, really? Okay, I spend untold count, like thousands of hours creating a free thing that you can enjoy, and you bitch about it. You know what I mean? Like, okay, you know what I mean? Like, again, it's not my nature, but like I spend so much time and energy on this, and you guys too, right? Like you guys are part of this. And so it's like, well, go do something else. Don't bother me with your shitty thoughts. Because if you want me to go aggro Mike, I can do it. I was the original troll. Like I was a troll before the internet started. So if you want to go troll, I'll go troll. I'll troll back. But it's a waste of my time, right? But I'm lying if I'm telling you I don't think those thoughts when you get some shitty comment about some shitty thing. It's like, oh, you're welcome, right? Star Wars was 15 fucking hours of movies or something, right? I've done thousands of hours, and most people haven't paid a dime for it. And I'm not complaining. I'm saying, go ahead. You bitched about Star Wars. Don't bitch about something that's free. That's what I'm saying. Off my soapbox, right?
Okay, I'm glad I could be that person you could let that anger off to.
Right? Like, you don't have to pay $8 to watch Troubled Minds. You just fire up the thing and press play, right? You know what I mean?
But this is the thing as well. But that's the point. I mean, if you are so pissed off something, I mean, your aggression, the way you said it now, is still so. It's junior, right? What about the people who are seriously aggro?
Yeah.
The ones who say like, if I had one bullet, and that's a pre-crime.
Yes.
Or like fuck off and die.
Yes.
That's a pre-crime, right? You can't control that.
Yeah.
So that will not work. That's out the window.
Out the window. Out the window. Yep.
And exactly. So and what about people who have ADHD or ADD? And imagine reading their minds. Like my husband's ADD, right? He'll start a conversation, and I always picture him like if he was a dog, he would say squirrel every 5 seconds. Like squirrel. You know that movie with the dogs, and they what's that movie Up with the balloons, the old man and the balloons, and they have that dogs who've got all those collars who can talk. Have you not seen that movie Up? cartoon.
I've seen up. Yeah, he's got the dog as the collar. I just realized I left Beechwood on the phone for like 20 minutes and he just hung up. I'm sorry.
Oh shit.
That's what I'm like. That's what I'm like. Shit.
I'm so sorry.
No. Beechwood, call back. Sorry about that. I'll call you back if you don't call me. You SOB. Don't make me do it, Beechwood. I'm sorry about that. I just noticed you. I looked and I was like, oh shit, he's been waiting for a long time, and then he hung up. I was like, okay. Okay. So anyway, we're good. All right. So let's, you're welcome to stay, Tam, if you have the time. Let's get your final thought here. We'll go to James. I'll call Beechwood back. Sorry about that, Beechwood. He hasn't called in a long time. I don't know what happened to him, but, sorry about that. So I was distracted in that moment. Go right ahead. What's your final thought on this? You getting the Neuralink?
No, Neuralink, if it's good for humanity, then yes. If it's going to help people with all their ailments and whatever, yes. But in general, fuck no. Fuck off.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Like, if I have like a need, and I think this is the thing too. There's only going to be like, it's kind of going to be bottlenecked to begin with. So I think if this becomes literally like a thing that can help people with neurological damage or paralyzation and things like that, they need to get that help and that equipment and that time and those, they need to get that first anyway. Like even if it was like I thought it was the most amazing thing. I'm going to step back and say, no, let it go to the people that need it first, because I don't need to text faster. You know what I mean? I don't need that, So, but some people can't walk and they need that. So yeah, for sure. 100%.
Yeah.
Tam Bam, thank you very much. Hang tight. You're going to hang out with us? You're going to bounce? It's totally up to you.
I'm going to hang.
All right. You stay right there. You know what to do. Mute up pretty please. You're welcome to chime in. Let's go to James. We're still talking about Neuralink. We're talking about all the rest of the stuff. Elon Musk. Neuralink human trials about to begin. What do you think, James? Are you in?
No.
No. Nah.
No.
Okay. All right. Okay. Though you have a condition with your vision, what if they could fix that? Are you in then?
No, because they still have control of the device.
Right. Exactly. So go ahead. Continue. I'm sure you have some other thoughts here.
Well, I was thinking of two things that are connected in a way, because you mentioned, or someone mentioned earlier, the whole intellectual property thing, but then also advertising. And then if you combine those things with the ability to make people feel what you want during the advertisements or during the whatever you create, talking about intellectual property, which could just be an ad, even if it is, meant to like marketed as a movie or whatever, then that's I feel like that's the ultimate way to advertise.
Yeah, well, and again, that's still like the first level of things. They want to read our minds now through just our data points, like through, again, back to the joke about poop and don't bring your phone because they're tracking how long you do. But again, it's not just that. And the point of that, again, I said that during the commercial break earlier. So just to add it, so that the conversation when this gets edited up, is that my point about that is that nothing is sacred to these people, and they don't give a shit about what kind of like invasiveness they're doing with their digital domain. And that's my point, right? So when I bring it, it's kind of like a tongue-in-cheek laugh about pooping, right? Make the poop jokes, but still, like, they don't, like, they're going to add that to their data point list. And that's the thing that drives me nuts, because there is no barrier, right? Again, back to that, the McCarthy hearing, at long last, have you no sense of decency, right? Being called calling everybody a communist, right? Like it's the same thing. It's like, look, at some point, these things have to stop. Like we cannot be invasive to the point of reading people's minds and timing how long it takes them to poo. You know what I mean? Like, fuck, like, stop. Like, just stop. Knowing everywhere you go, how long you spend there, your habits, your this, your that, the other thing. This is what's happening in the world we live in, bro. Hey, James, you're going to hang out for a little bit? I'm cutting you off, but Beechwood's back. So we're going to do this.
No problem.
Don't go anywhere. Stay right there. I'm going to get Beechwood on because he hasn't called in forever, and we're going to have the James and the Beechwood show. All right? How about that? All right. Okay. Don't go anywhere. Don't go. Stay right there, James. Let's get Beechwood on the phone. Ladies and gentlemen, James Salcedo here, Salcedo Paranormal, has a podcast. Links in the description. Check it out. He talks about paranormal stuff 5 times a week, and he's not going anywhere. I just want to add that before this gets real. About to get super real because Beechwood hasn't called in months. So let's everybody welcome with a warm Troubled Minds welcome our old friend Beechwood in Massachusetts. What's up, brother? You're on Troubled Minds with Mike and James, and Tam Bam's here as well. Go right ahead, sir. How are you tonight?
What's up, everybody? I'm doing awesome. It's good to be on the show. I've been listening to the shows. I've been trying to spend as much time away from technology as I can and just letting like the ideas come to me. But last night's show was really awesome, and I kind of relate it to like this show. I know a lot of people. The big issue with like this is like the ethics of it. Can they do it? But then, like, I'd let them put one in me because I think my brain is powerful enough to overpower the thing, and I can fly it. And I think that if they start doing this to normal people, you might actually run into similar thoughts like Lovecraft had. Now, when we read his books, he described what he saw to the best of his ability. That's the thing, that we're limited by, our language right now, the way that we describe things, especially if you're not familiar with them. So, like, if I describe, a familiar object to you, I assume you're going to visualize it in your head. The way he described things, the way that you visualize it, his writing might not do justice for what he actually saw.
Yeah.
So they might, it might run into a technology, spiritual world, might pull them further apart or pull them closer together. It's hard to say.
Exactly. Beechwood. So we're going to turn this into the James and Beechwood show because I cut him short to get you on. So James, you want to respond to that?
Well, I think that's true. I don't think anyone's writing or art is ever quite as good as they want it to be. I think you can be satisfied with what you make, and you can think it's really good, but I feel like in a lot of cases, there's still details that you just weren't able to convey or to work into whatever you're making. And so I agree.
Definitely.
Yeah, I agree.
Go ahead, Beechwood. So what is so you think you could fry this thing with the power of your brain? What do you think the Neuralink is going to bring to us in the future? What do we not know that we don't know yet that this is going to do to humanity?
The other big point that I wanted to bring out that I'm a fond believer of is I think they have technology where they can read your mind without a Neuralink. Like, I think that physical implant might actually be like old technology, and now it's going to be more just like a toy. And I see there being a clash between, like the health insurance field and, the companies that make it, as whether it's a real medical procedure or is it like, a rich people toy. And I find the general public, they're sheepish enough. You don't even have to give them a Neuralink. You could give a Neuralink to all the CEOs, more like shepherds. So you'd be organizing all your shepherds to organize the masses, and probably like some sort of hierarchy established. But I have a friend that works at a very big company, starts with a Ray, ends with an Eon, and he swears that they have mind-reading technology.
Yeah, I've heard this before.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I've heard this before. And I think, now, oddly enough, we've talked about the power of the human mind on this show. And is it that situation where, some people are, maybe receptive to that? They are, they call them mediums, or they call them sensitives, or, there are different ways to describe this. I see dead people, like the trope from the show. But I don't know. Like, again, so I can't comment on the entire human species and their brains. I just have mine. You just have yours, right? So who knows? Like I think that's the thing here with the who knows what we don't know yet, is because there's some amazing brains out there. And I mean, again, we're all different, and different is good. Like I say this and I mean this, that diversity is a strength if we let it be. Like, fuck, not if we're just constantly trying to divide each other to by socioeconomics and by all the rest of this stuff they try and do, right? By religion and by color of the skin and everything, right? Like they're literally living in the upside down is they tell us diversity is good for you if it's the kind of diversity we like. If it's not, right, you're just a bunch of assholes, right? And you're bigots, right? That's the way this world is working now. And it's like, no, like there's a divide there. You guys just like triple jumped, and there's a conversation to be had. And here we are. I don't know, man. I don't like reading minds with this stuff and actually taking this. I don't know. What about reading minds? What if you were tapped into every mind on the planet through this thing? Like what kind of shit would we learn just tapping this into every brain on the planet? That would probably be like the next step to the next step to the next step, right?
Yeah, that would definitely be amazing. You might find out a bunch of stuff you don't want to know.
Yeah, that's for sure.
We really don't know what's hidden in our DNA. You might find out when the whole human demise is going to be, which, I talk about doomsday a lot, but I don't want doomsday to happen. I want to know when it's going to happen so I can either like watch it and try to enjoy it as much as I can if it's like an asteroid. But if it's something we cause, obviously, don't have any part of it or try to prevent it. But you can't forget to just enjoy life too. You ever notice how much of human life is driven by emotion? Even some of the wars are driven by emotion, hatred towards like something that we made up, something that doesn't exist, a stupid reason, a race, a religion, etc. And then when you look at society as a whole, no one person can accomplish what they did without the help from another person. Like even like a guy like Tesla. He didn't go, mine the copper that they made the wires out of. I'm sure he had tons of copper wire at hand. But had he had to go out and, dig in the ground and make his own wire, he wouldn't have had enough time.
Never would have got anything done.
That he did.
And I call that too, and I give credit to that by saying that like nothing we're doing here is new because we're standing on the shoulders of giants, and a lot of that stuff came before us. And it was, in some cases it was horrific the way things have been, strip mined and the rainforest and all the stuff, right? Like just destroying the earth. But at some point, right, without like you got to also acknowledge, like you said, at some point maybe you won't like the things you hear or get from that zeitgeist as it's feeding into you. But maybe some of that stuff was necessary. Maybe to correct the ills of the world, we had to do those things to get to this point. And I'm not advocating we destroy the earth, don't get me wrong. I'm just saying, well, if we didn't do those things, would we be here now? Us able to have this conversation. Like maybe this is one of that, to become a type 1 civilization in terms of the Kardashev scale, we have to actually put ourselves on the precipice of doom, right, from our own hand to realize that it doesn't have to be this way. You know what I mean? That's kind of what I mean. And pointing that at what you said regarding, maybe we don't want to hear those things. And let's before we get you, let's go back to the Beechwood and James show. Takes on that, James. You want to let's strip mine the world, brother.
Just I mean, they already have games about that. So
yeah, do they? What games?
Well, I mean, if you think of Minecraft.
Oh yeah.
You're literally taking out whatever is around you to make whatever you want.
Yeah, that's right. With one little pickaxe and a bad attitude, you can wreck that whole world and build yourself the castle the size of the world. That's true.
Oh, you can even in the very beginning, and it's one of those things you might not think about if you're just playing. You can take down trees without any tools.
Hey, man.
You can literally break through,
boom.
Yeah.
With the fist.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It's actually, I never thought of that. Like Minecraft is a good sort of parallel for the anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
Well, it's funny because it's one of those things, again, where it can be a game where, there's no violence, there's nothing, if with the right settings applied. there are different, and I won't go into the details because it's not as important. But the point is, there are different modes. There's creative mode, where you can instantly get whatever you want without working for it, which is also kind of, that's also tricky. But then you're not destroying the world that you're in. Or there's survival mode, where you do have to, mine everything and harvest everything, and there are, all different kinds of things out there that will try to kill you, and you may have to kill them back.
Get them.
And
even the Dalai Lama is quoted as saying, if somebody was shooting at you with their gun, it makes sense to grab your gun and shoot back. Just say, that's the Dalai Lama. I'm just saying. But again, no violence here. I'm not trying to not stoke the violent in people. Good stuff.
But
good stuff. Now go ahead.
I'm wondering about if we were all connected like that, though, or if a lot of people were. I mean, if enough people got together and they realized, hey, I don't like any of this that's going on, I mean, how do we know that they couldn't organize? And again, not that I'm advocating violence, because I really don't, like you, I don't think that's right, but get together and exchange information and make some changes that these big companies would not expect.
Yeah, and I think it's a good question, too, in that if we all stood up sort of like Hong Kong did and said no extradition bill, well, they just unleashed COVID and sent them back to their homes. But I digress. But if we all stood up and said no to this, for instance, no Neuralink, do you think they'd stop? That's a good thought, a good question.
Even if they didn't, I mean, if we learned how the technology works, and everyone focused on the companies and the servers that are controlling things. I mean, if you had hundreds or thousands of people basically trying to hack or shut down the thing that's, messing with people through their own device, would they have would their own technology be strong enough to stop that?
Yeah, that's a good question. Good question. Comment on that, Beechwood?
That's a good question. I don't have an answer for that particular question, but I know that they're good at selling stuff, and to the general public is like when there'll be a no to Neuralink movement, but there's just a vast portion of people that advertisement works on them. So when you just show them all the cool, good stuff that you can do with Neuralink, they're going to want it. And that's just what I think. How to stop it? I don't think there's any stopping it right now. I think the powers that be are too powerful. I think they're like 10 steps ahead of the average Joe. If you were comparing it to chess, it's kind of like playing against Bobby Fischer. But, I don't know. There's some cool things, like I think like imagination battles would be cool and the dream stuff, but at the price that it costs, at what else you have to risk giving up, I don't think it would be worth it to the average person. At least right now. I don't think the world functions smoothly enough. I don't think the human species functions smoothly enough as a whole to step into that type of technology just yet. I think you need a little more responsibility. Everybody hates each other right now. So if you put a thing where everybody knew what everybody was thinking, it would be bad because people are sensitive.
Yeah, 100%. And again, that's why we do this, right? We talk about this. Beechwood and I, we don't agree on everything. James and I, we don't agree on everything. Tam Bam, everybody out there, right? Because clearly that would be robotic and weird, but it doesn't matter, right? Like these are the types of conversations that bring people together because we don't have to agree. Like it's one of those things where we understand we have enough in common together that our differences are nothing compared to the things we care about the most, right?
I'd say definitely. And I'd say, one of the things that I notice with me a lot is sometimes if you state an observation, doesn't mean you're taking a standpoint on it. It just means you said something that you saw. It doesn't necessarily mean you even have an opinion about it. But, that's how science works. When you take and record notes, at some point you're really not supposed to have an opinion on it if you want the truth.
Beechwood, trust the science, buddy. You gotta trust the science.
You gotta trust the science.
Don't question the science, Beechwood. It makes you a Nazi. Don't do it. Don't do it.
know. But yeah, no, it was good to call. I remember I called later. I went through another little thing. We talked about a show on the CIA, and I woke up and everything was broken. And then I changed jobs. I had a couple really weird dreams, and then I got sick, and I ended up in the hospital. And I had an experience. I think there's two worlds. And I know that's off topic, but I want to try to call. Actually, maybe later this week on the regular show, because my schedule changed, so I can stay up a little later now. So
okay, so do me a favor then. So let's set this up. So I know you had a previous experience. Is this different? This is one that's recent?
This is different. This is recent, and this is I know that there's two worlds. There's two of me. There's two of everybody. I think. I'm almost 99.9% positive.
Okay.
I almost freaked out.
Okay. All right. So that sounds like a show to me. So let's do it. Let's do it. Send me an email or hit me on Discord at troubledmindsradio@gmail. Discord is at troubledminds.org, the official website. Click the Discord link. You're already on there, I think. Send me a message. We'll set it up. We'll do a whole show with you. You let me know what's best for your schedule. We go Monday through Thursday. If those days aren't good for you, we're due for another bonus Patreon show. For the people that support the show, what we'll do is we'll do it live and then paywall it right after. So if you don't catch it live, you got it. There you go. It's for the people and their convenience that have paid to support the show. So if you want, you let me know. Let's hook up. Let's set up a date. If those regular show dates aren't great, I'm open Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You let me know. We'll figure something out. Okay. Yeah. Send me a message.
I think Thursday will work. And I got I got a couple of pictures. Not it's not good proof, but it's kind of cool. I got an alopecia. That's when your hair follicles die. You'll get a little bald spot. I got it on my neck, and I had a dream. I got shot in the neck the night before. I woke up. I had a bald spot on my neck, but that wasn't the hospital one. The next one's even a little freakier. It freaked me out even more.
Okay, all right. I'm down for freaky. I'm down for freaky. Send me the information.
Thanks, James, Tam Bam, everybody who's in here. I appreciate it. And the show's it's evolved into it's like a real radio show, man. It's awesome.
You remember the old days when it was what the fuck is this? No. Oh, I see. He's trying to make this a radio. I get it. He's trying to make this a radio show.
It's always been good, though.
Not anymore. No, we're just making fun. I appreciate the phone call, Beechwood. You were the best. Thanks for listening for all that time. I'm glad you're well out of the hospital and home and everything's good. Look forward to it. Send me the messages. We'll set it up. If you want Thursday's good. Wait, what is it? Tuesday? Yeah, let me know. Right. So if you don't get it to me quick, we can't do it. We'll have to bump it to next Thursday or whatever. So get it to me quickly, and then we'll make this happen. Okay.
All right, I'll hit you up tomorrow.
All right, perfect. Thanks, bro. Have a fantastic night. We'll talk to you soon.
All right. Take it easy, man.
You too, man. Beechwood in Massachusetts. Good shit. Comment James. Let's cap it off with the James and Beechwood show, and then we got Tam Bam. Looks like Tam Bam has got some chime in too. But go ahead, James.
I was just thinking the idea of shorting out or messing with the technology. I really like the idea of maybe even intentionally getting it and then just seeing what you can do with it to go against, to just see what you can do. I kind of like that. Not that I'm really interested in trying it myself still.
You like the fact that Beechwood wants to challenge it and short it out with his brain. I did too.
No, I don't really want anyone to know to try it. I'm just interested in that idea. I'm doing that thing where I consider something without, going for it completely.
Right, exactly. Amen. I do like his ability to just say, yeah. Bring it. Bring it.
Yep.
Bring it. Bring it. Tam Bam, you had something to say? What's up? You still there? Let me check.
Yeah, I'm still here. I've just got to. No, someone wants to know about if your Patreon link.
Oh, yes. Thank you. That's very nice. I'll find it. Appreciate that.
Gypsy Soul.
Okay, I didn't see. I'll get that Patreon.
And I have a Tamtro.
And a Tamtro. Oh, you got a Tamtro for us. All right. All right. So we're still here with Daryl and Tate and James. Any of you guys have some ideas here before we DTFO? We got about 10 minutes or so we got a little bit of time here. Is anybody interested in maybe capping us off? What are your thoughts here? How deep does this go? How far out does this Elon Musk Neuralink happen? And what do we know that we don't know? Because
you know what I want to know?
Yeah.
Is like if there is an electric storm going to happen and everyone or a lot of people have a Neuralink, I wonder what will happen. That's horrible to think. Imagine sitting on a hill and there's an electric storm and everyone just like gets shocked.
No, you were correct.
Like what the fuck?
No, you were correct.
It's not funny, but it's funny.
Right, exactly. Jeff says, why are there no super chats on, because we were demonetized in the first month of Troubled Minds. That's why. Embarrassingly, I don't even know what happened, but yeah, they there you go. Patreon link is in the chat. Thanks for asking. Thanks for pointing that out, Tam. I appreciate that. And thanks for carrying enough. Like I said, trust me. This is not, again, it's not that. The last thing in my whole ever like extreme crazy brain was like, oh, I'm gonna make a radio show so good that I'm gonna twist people's arms and make them pay me to listen. No. Like if you do, again, it's not required. Don't ever feel pressure for that. Your enthusiasm and your time and sharing the thing, listening to the podcast feed is completely enough for me. All right, just letting you guys know. I appreciate that you're asking. Thank you very much. Links in the chat. Thanks, Tam Bam, for pointing that out. And well, I don't know. Where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? What's tomorrow? We got maybe a Beachwood appearance on Thursday. It's good to hear from him. When you got old friends, you talk to quite often, and they just kind of vanish off the map. Like where's Jennifer? I hope Jennifer's okay, right? She's been awfully quiet. Jennifer, if you're listening.
Yeah, I was wondering.
If you're listening,
even
Jennifer,
her YouTube channel.
Yeah, if you're listening, Jennifer, we're thinking about you. Hope you're doing okay. So just FYI, like you don't hear from old friends for a minute. It makes you worry. And I know life happens and things change and whatever, but just thinking about people that are usually here but are not here. So yeah, good stuff. Shout out to Jennifer if you're out there listening to us. We are thinking about you and hope everything is well. James, Tate, anybody else? What you got, James?
Well, I mean, I just like to always keep in mind that even with all this stuff going on, I think we can figure out a way through it somehow.
Yeah, glass half full. Hey, we're going to do it. Trompe le monde. Glass half full. Glass half full. Let's do it, guys. Glass half full, right? Like it's okay. Yeah. Like we got ourselves here. We can get ourselves out, can't we, James?
Yep.
We've survived this long.
Yeah.
Yep. Through all the shit that they throw at us,
all the dumb stuff that people have done to ourselves, even we made it this far. So I have faith that we can get to a better place, and that's what's up. Thanks for Mr. Mensa for all the bot alerts. Every time you say that, I pop in and ban that asshole. All right, so let's get the hell out of here. We got a Tamtro. Anything from Daryl? Daryl's been kind of quiet. Where you at, Daryl? You okay there? What's up, good buddy Daryl? How you feeling? How's everything? Test.
No.
All good. Nah. All right. Tate, what's up? Anything else before we finish this up?
Nope. No, I'm good.
Good is good. Good is good by me. See, this is the thing, right? This is what I say, James, when I say time and pressure. You just out-talk everybody. You bury them to the point of exhaustion, and they're like, enough, Michael Strange, enough. I can't take anymore. and then time and pressure.
Yeah.
There you go. Everybody, Tam Bam has an Instagram link in the description. Give her a follow. Tam Bam's been a friend of the show for a very long time. She's in South Africa and has a interesting take on the world because she's different. but she's also the same. And that's why we get together and talk about all these amazing things with people from all over the world. And James in Michigan, and we got all the people in the chat. I see you guys out there trying to do my best to keep up with all this. But let's wrap this up. Let's wrap it. If Daryl doesn't chime in, maybe Daryl dozed off or is maybe meditating. What's up? Shadows of the Moon, give her a follow on YouTube as well, please. She's been a friend of the show for a long time. Does a great show. Appreciate that. Thanks for hanging out, being in the chat with us. And let's GTFO. What we got? We got a few minutes actually. We got a few minutes. So let's round it out at like a final 3 hours. Wait, no audio? You got to refresh. We're okay. Everything's running perfectly on my end. Okay, yeah. So I don't know what do you think? So these human trials, let's say they last a year. When this starts to roll out, it's probably going to roll out to people who need them with these types of diseases, like paralyzation, cognitive disorders, things like this. But then what? When do you guys predict we're actually going to be like, you fucking right, I'm now upgrading from the metaverse Oculus to the Elon Musk Neuralink dream state, like Joseph said, dreaming in tandem dreaming. What the fuck? Wait, no.
The thing is, will become obsolete. Can you download education and everything you need to know? Will you have to subscribe to a monthly payment of, like, say, for instance, a subject in history, and then you just get that download? I mean, where does it end?
Yeah, no, and I exactly. That's the thing, right? That's exactly the thing. Where does it end? I don't know. And at some point, it becomes invasive. I think that's the thing, right? Like Elon Musk, I'm fine with Elon, but I think the invasiveness of all this is
Can you download education and everything you need to know?
We got you, Daryl. Are you there, Daryl? Copy 1 2 test. Daryl. Hello. All right, that's okay. All right, so we'll catch up with Daryl a little bit if she's going to jump on and say hi. That's cool.
That's exactly the thing. Where does?
All right. We're tech issues. We're working them out. Hey, it's a live show. Right now, I'm waving my hand out there. It's a live show. in this exact moment, it's a live show. All right. What's up, Daryl? How are you?
Waiting for my Neuralink to update.
Oh, is that okay? Well, that explains it. So do you feel better? Do you feel like $100?
Oh, green and wrinkled. That's it.
Perfect. Right on. So what's your actual final prediction here? When does this roll out to humanity, and when does it become a requirement? You got like a 2 year, 5 year, 10 year type of prediction?
Oh, I don't know. I think we're going to have, like, next to your vaccine passport, you're going to have your Neuralink card. You're going to have your barcode. You're going to have your chip. They're just going to scan you, like Bill Mayer said, like bananas. You just get scanned like at the supermarket.
And in immortal words of Gwen Stefani, that shit is bananas. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm going bananas.
I had to do it. It was too easy. But all right, so they'll scan you like a batch of bananas, and then what? And then what do they do? What happens after that?
I don't know. You might go out of order,
I don't know either. Yeah, you got me. So 2 year, 5 year, 10 year. When's it required?
Oh, I think it might be a lot sooner than we think. And I think a lot of people probably are chipped right now. Like they say, they're experimenting on us as we speak anyway. So I don't know how well that experiment's going. I don't think it lived up to anybody's expectations. But there's some other implications that, that when giving somebody carte blanche to run an experiment without any ramifications, sky's the limit, right?
Yeah. Sky's always the limit. Glass half full. Absolutely.
And what about...
Go ahead.
What about, like, the Matrix movie where they downloaded Kung Fu? Like in 2 seconds, he's like, I know Kung Fu. Imagine that.
I like that idea. That's the good part of it. Like to read a book in like seconds, you just like go through all the literature of the centuries, It would be awesome to have all that knowledge.
It would until they like curate it perfectly to give them their own narrative and then make that the required reading, right? I think that's the problem here. Again, that's the problem with censorship. That's the problem with with free speech. That's the problem with ideas. Like again, right? Like I get it. You know, you're you and I'm me. And you think you're right, and I think I'm right. But you see, right? I don't turn this into a combative experience because I could be like the typical douchebag that has a microphone on the internet and just be like, "No, I don't believe that at all. Change your mind." And if you argue with me, I hang up on you, right? Like I could do that. And by the way, it gets better ratings, right? It gets pressed in the algorithms, right? Like that's what they want. But I could do that. I could be that asshole. But look, people are more important to me than the idea. The idea can change. As long as the idea is flexible, fungible, and we can share these things, why argue? Like, let's just talk about them, you know? Let's
I think that's I just had a horrible thought.
Right, exactly. Go ahead, James, sorry.
I just going to say, I think that's an important point, though. I wonder if we can really, even if we do get those kind of downloads, I wonder if we can really process them without experience to go with them.
That's a good question. So like the Kung Fu master has like, you know, just for like a goofy Hollywood example, is smacked the board 1,000 times with his or her fist, right? And so developed the muscle memory necessary and the impact over and over and over again to become, you know, like a weapon, flesh and bone type of weapon. But without that experience to go with it, and it's just a download, that's a hell of a question, right? So you know Kung Fu, but you're going to break your hand on the board, aren't you?
Well, even in the movie, if you look at the Matrix movie, you know, even though Neo gets that download, he doesn't just completely beat Morpheus right away.
No,
there's a fight scene.
Even Neo has to unlock the next level or something, even though he's been downloaded. Yeah, interesting. Yeah. Even though you can download the things, there are some things that again, the magic of the human brain, the magic of the human body, right? We're meat puppets, we're nothing, but all at the same time, we're something very special indeed. Let's get the hell out of here. Let's do it. 2 more days of Troubled Minds this week. We got maybe a Beechwood sighting on Thursday. Maybe he says he's positive there are 2 versions of him at least out there, and maybe we can talk about that. So what's up? Let's GTFO. Thanks for hanging out with us. Thanks all you guys for being patient and sharing the floor here with the callers and with everybody else, and being patient to hang out. And you guys are the best. I appreciate it very much.
Happy to be here.
Thank you. Let's roll. We got a Tamtro apparently. So as this works, let's again, James here has a podcast. Please follow, links in the description. Salcedo Paranormal. Follow Tam Bam on Instagram. Links in the description. Follow Daryl. She's got a YouTube channel. Is a singer. Links in the description. See, there you go. Appreciate that very much. And you guys, as we continue, as we finish, as we do our thing. Let's do it. We're going to roll the Tamtro, and we're going to GTFO. Let me push the thing so you can hear it. You know the deal. Tam, wait for the bass to drop. Here we go. Cue it, Maestro. Sure. Cue it.
Here.
Remember, be true, be strong, be brave, and be true.
Wait for the bass to drop.
I'm sorry.
Am I not doing the Tamtro? Is someone else doing it?
No, you got it. You're up, Tam. Daryl jumped the gun. You're good.
Beyond your control can take away everything you possess, except one thing. Your freedom to choose how you will respond to the situation. Victor E. Franklin.
Nice. I love it. A little love for the autonomy of the individual. Good stuff. Thank you very much, Tam. And as we finish this, it goes a little something like this. Friends of Troubled Minds, scroll down. Look, there's no amount of too many friends. If you guys call into the show, contribute regularly, you're always welcome on here. You know it. If you are, I am more than happy to share your links and things. And if the list gets too big, we'll make a whole new webpage and do nothing but that. Friends of Troubled Minds, and we'll pimp the shit out of that. This is what I'm saying. There is no limit to this. We are, again, and I'm going to say this and I mean this. I'm me, you're you. Put together, we're us. You get it? And I mean it. I mean it. Night Stalker said it. He's all, hey, a lot of people say it. He's all, but God damn it, Mike, you mean it. And I do. You got a thing to do and you're doing something out there, I am happy to share if you're happy to contribute. Let's do it. So let's get the hell out of here. Thank you, Tam Bam. Thank you, James. Thank you, Daryl. Thanks, Tate, for being here. Thanks all the amazing calls. I can't list everybody, all the great calls tonight, because if I do, I'll forget somebody, and then Robert will get mad because I inevitably miss Robert. Thanks, James. Thanks, James. I miss James too sometimes because James and I talk almost every day. But the thing is, right, is you guys don't know that, so it seems weird, right? But don't forget James. Salcedo Paranormal. Let's get the hell out of here. Glass half full. All right. More Troubled Minds tomorrow at 7 p.m. Pacific. From now till then, take care of yourself so you can take care of others. And as we finish, if you'd like to help this show, again, there are monetary ways, not necessary. Rockfin, Rockfin, Patreon, and what's the other one? Twitch. Yep, thank you. You can actually sub up directly monetarily if you either don't like the show enough to, or you don't have the means. That's fine. You can help by spreading the word. Tell somebody a conversation's happening out there that's not political dogma. It's not bullshit. It's not division. It can be other things. It can be amazing things. Don't look up. Don't look down. Look up. See what I did there? My brain had the frizzle. But okay, so there's the deal. If you want to help, spread the word. Listen to the podcast feed. And as we finish, it goes like this. Be sure. Be strong. Be true. Be true. Thank you for listening. From our Troubled Minds to yours, have a great night. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out. See you then. Come join the Discord. If you have not, a lot of these fine folks, including myself, pop into Discord and say hi, and there's an after-show chat. Please come do that. We'll see you guys there. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out. Thanks for being part